Yes, I had other family members in my whole family to celebrate with me and also friends.
Yego nari mfite umuryango wanje n'inshuti zanje kugira ngo zishimane nanje.
But he wasn't there to celebrate one of many huge accomplishments.
Ariko ntabwo papa yari ahari kugira ngo yishimane nanje ku ciciro nari ndangije.
I remember the day of my birthday in 2020.
Ndibuka igihe nari mfite birthday mu 2020.
I wrote a short poem that summed up how I felt.
Nanditse poeme ntoya ngaragaza uko niyumva cyangwa uko ntekereza.
And the poem started off with, I wonder the sound of your voice.
Iyi poeme yatangiye ivuga ngo sinzi ukuntu ijwi ryawe, sinzi ijwi ryawe.
I wonder the comfort of your words.
Sinzi ukuntu humuriza.
I wonder the feel of your hugs.
Sinzi ukuntu bimva umpobeye, sinzi ukuntu mpobera uko bimera.
I wonder much with no answers.
Hari byinshi nibaza ariko ndabifitiye ibisubizo.
I am impacted by your non-existent presence.
Mfite ingaruka nyinshi kuba utari mu buzima bwanje.
I am who I am today because of you.
Ndi uwo ndiwe uyu munsi kubera wowe.
You've taught me to be strong even in the worst possible situations.
Wanigishije gukomera n'igihe bitari bishobotse.
You've taught me to be an overachiever.
Wanyigishije kuba umutsinzi.
You've taught me to be independent.
Wanyigishije kwirwanaho.
And all to make you proud.
Ibi byose ni ukugira ngo nkunezeze.
So here I am today, 18 years later.
Ndi hano imyaka 18 irangiye.
A successful, healthy young woman in college.
Umukobwa mukuru uri muri college kandi ufite ubuzima bwiza.
I am the person that chooses to smile and laugh each day.
Ndi umuntu wahisemo guseka no kumwenyura buri gihe.
I like to think there's a reason and there is a purpose behind my last name.
Ntura nibwira ko hariho impamvu ya last name ya cyangwa izina ryanje rya kabiri.
And that is Furaha.
Ari ryo Furaha.
So if you know me,
nimbunzi,
you know how much I love laughing.
Murabizi ukuntu nkunda guseka.
I've always told myself that no matter the hardships I go through,
nahoraga nibwira nkavuga nti byari byo byose ndi gucamo,
nothing can ever be as bad as Gatumba.
Nta kintu cambabaza kuko Gatumba yambabaje.
If I can survive that,
nimba nshobora kubirenga ibyo,
then I know with God's help I can survive anything.
Ndabizi ko hamwe n'ubufatanye bw'Imana ikintu cyacu cyose nzakinesha.
Without hardships,
hatariho ubuzima bugoye cyangwa ibibazo,
there is no growth, and without growth there is no hardships.
Nta gukura, kandi hatariho gukura nta buzima bugoye.
So to my fellow survivors,
so kubacika mu bagenzi banje,
and our community as a whole,
na community yacu yose,
not only do we mourn today,
ntabwo gusa turi mukiri uyu munsi cyangwa turi kwibuka,
but we mourn every day throughout the year.
Ariko turibuka umwaka wose.
We are one of many God's strongest soldiers.
Turi bamwe muri benshi b'abasirikare b'Imana.
So to everyone that is listening to me,
ku muntu wese uri kunyumva,
knowing that kuri umunyamurenge,
to know that you are umunyamurenge,
please be strong.
Komera.
There's more that God has a purpose for you.
Hari byinshi Imana igufitiye.
Because for those of us that survived that day,
kuko kuri benshi bacitse ku icumu wa munsi,
there's a purpose.
Hari impamvu.
Thank you guys so much.
Murakoze cyane.
Before I say my testimony, I'm just going to read something real quick.
Mbere yuko avuga ubuhamya bwiwe agiye gusoma ikintu.
18 years has gone by since my life changed.
nyuma y'imyaka 10 ubuzima bwiwe bwarahindutse 18
In just 2 hours. In just 2 hours.
just amasaha 2.
August, you've come around again where I have to relive the worst day of my life.
Sorry, Mama. I'm sorry. No, the way you were.
Oh. August, you've come around again where I have to relive the worst day of my life.
Ukwezi k'umunani wagarutse kandi kugira ngo nibuke bibi byose byambayeho.
August, I've hated you since.
Ukwezi k'umunani narakwanze kuva kera.
And I'll continue hating you because you took my whole world away.
Kandi nzahora nkwanga.
At only the age of 5, you'll think I wouldn't remember anything, but the sad reality is
Ku myaka 5 gusa wari uzi yuko ntazigera nibuka ikintu icyo ari cyo cyose.
I remember everything.
Ariko ndabyibuka byose.
From seeing my own father killed in front of my eyes,
Kuba narabonye data umzara bamwica mu maso yanje.
to never saying bye to my own mother.
Hamwe na mama wanje.
To never saying bye to my own mother. To never saying bye to my own mother.
Kandi kuba ntarasezeye mama wanje.
August, you took my uncle.
Kwezi k'umunani watwaye oncle wanje.
August, you took our people.
Kwezi k'umunani watwaye abantu bacu.
August, you made my brother and I an orphan in a world where we needed our parents the most.
Kwezi k'umunani watumye mba imfubyi nje na musaza wanje aho twaradukeneye ababyeyi bacu bombi.
August, you took my childhood.
Kandi watwaye ubwana bwanje bwose.
I didn't mention my name.
Ntabwo navuze izina ryanje.
My name is Aline Kamariza.
Nitwa Aline Kamariza.
In August 2004, I was only 5 years old.
Mu kwezi k'umunani 2004 nari mfite imyaka 5.
And as I was reading, I'm going to share a little bit about my testimony.
Ngiye kubabwira bike mu buhamya bwanje.
Anybody who knows me knows I don't like speaking at these things.
Abantu benshi banzi bazi ko ndakunda kuvuga igihe nkiki.
But this year, I decided to get up here
Ariko uyu mwaka nahisemo kuza hano
and tell my testimony.
kugira ngo mvuge ubuhamya bwanje.
I don't remember much of what happened
Sinibuka byinshi byabaye
before,
mbere,
but I have a vivid memory of everything else that took place during.
ariko nzi ibintu byose byabaye muri wa mwanya.
During that night,
Rya joro
I was with my parents, my brother, my sister, my cousin, and my grandma.
nari kumwe n'ababyeyi banje n'abo tuvukana na kaka.
And my little brother was only about a year old.
Musaza wanje muto yari afite nk'umwaka.
And then the little cousin was also a year old.
Kandi no na mubyara wanje yari afite nk'umwaka.
So that night, my little brother and my cousin went to go sleep in the same tent as my grandma.
Muri iryo joro musaza wanje na mubyara wanje bari bararanye na kaka.
And then I went to a separate tent with my mom, my dad, and me.
ngenda naje nari ndyamye mu yindi tente jewe na papa na mama twari mu yindi shitingi.
As you guys have heard, when all this took place, we thought it was just a noise happening from far away. We didn't really know what it was.
Kuko mwese mubizi igihe byabaye twese twari ko twumva ari urusaku tutazi ico ari co ikibaye,
Until the noises started getting closer and we started to panic.
kugeza aho urusaku rwatwegereye twese dutangira kugira ubwoba.
And as the night went by, the noises got louder.
Ijoro uko ryagendaga urusaku rwakomezaga ruba rwinshi.
And that's when it kicked in that we were being attacked.
Aho ngaho niho abantu benshi bibutse nti twatewe.
Anybody who knew my dad, he was a pastor, so of course we started to pray.
Abantu benshi bazi papa yari umupasiteri, Yesu yahise atangira gusenga.
We prayed for a while, and even the people next to our tent came in our tent to pray, and then they went back.
Ya twatangiye gusenga n'abantu bari muri hema y'iruhande baraje nabo barasenga mare basubirayo.
Something seemed off about my mom, because my little brother,
Hari ikintu nabonaga kidasa neza kuri mama.
because my little brother was in the other, he was all the way across the tent, so she was worried about him.
Nkuko musaza wanje muto yari mu yindi hema iri hirya nabonaga mama afite ubwoba cyane ari kumutekereza.
So she suggested to my dad that she should go look for him.
Abwira papa njewe ndagiye ngiye kureba umwana.
Even though clearly you can hear the gunshots, they were so close.
Nubwo twumvaga amasasu atwegereye.
So my dad said, no, you can't go out there, but knowing a mother, she went out there.
Papa aramubwira ntoya ntugende ntusohoke, ariko nkuko ari umubyeyi kandi afite imbabazi z'ububyeyi aranga arasohoka aragenda.
So my mom ran out there.
Mama aragenda.
And that was the last time I saw my mom.
Uwo niwo mwanya wa nyuma nabonye mama.
We knew we couldn't stop her, so she left.
Turabizi ko tutari kumuhagarika yaragiye.
So it was just me and my dad.
Sigarana na papa.
A little later,
hashize akanya gato
you're still hearing gunshots.
Tukomeza twumva amasasu.
Until two men walked in our tent.
Kugeza ubwo abagabo babiri binjiye mu ihema ryacu.
And they had guns.
Bari bafite imbunde.
I just want you guys to remember that.
Ndashaka ko mwibuka ko
that I was only 5 years old.
Ko nari mfite imyaka 5 gusa.
But I was seeing all this.
Ariko ibi byose narabibonye.
My dad stood right in front of me.
Papa
He was sitting right next, like protecting me.
Yari yicaye imbere yanje ari kunkingira.
With his arms out.
Amaboko ayarambuye.
So that nothing happens to me.
Kugira ngo ntihagire ikintu cyose kinkoraho.
The two men just stared for a while. I don't know what they were thinking about.
Abagabo babiri bahagaze aho ngaho umwanya muremure sinamenye ico bariko batekereza.
I don't remember what they said.
Sinibuka ibyo bavuze.
Then they started shooting.
Bahita batangira kurasa.
They shot my dad 3 times.
Barashe papa gatatu.
I think one went in his spine.
andi akeka ko imwe bayimurashe mu mugongo,
one near his heart,
iyindi mu mutima, urundi mu mutima,
and then another one went somewhere low on his body because the same bullet that went through his lower body went on my leg too.
urundi sinibuka aho rwagiye mu mubiri, ariko kuko urusasu rwamurashe mu mugongo niko naje rwandashe mu kuguru.
But I don't remember any of the pain at all.
Ariko sinibuka ubabare nari mfite ico gihe.
Because for a lot of us, when all this was happening, we weren't thinking about pain.
Nka benshi muri twebwe ubwigiye ibi bintu byabaga ntabwo twako dutekereza ku babare dufite.
We were in shock.
Kuko twari twikanze cyane.
After the men left,
abo bagabo bamaze kugenda,
and when they left, I stood there. I think I was there for like 10 minutes, just frozen.
Baragiye nguma aho ngaho nk'iminota 10 gusa nicaye.
I didn't know what to do.
Sinari nzi ico gukora.
But the first couple minutes, you can kind of see my father slowly dying.
Ariko mu minota mikeya ntangira kubona papa umwuka umuvamo.
It's like he wanted to say something, but I don't really know what he wanted to say.
Kabona nkaho hari ikintu ashaka kumbwira ariko ntakivuge.
So I sat there watching my father die in my arms.
Naricaye aho ngaho ndeba ukuntu papa acikana mu maboko yanje.
Like I said, this took a while. I don't really know the times, but I know I was sitting there for 10 minutes just staring at him.
Nkuko nababwiye naricaye aho ngaho umwanya muremure sinibuka igihe nahamaze, ariko narahicaye nk'iminota 10 ndi kumureba.
Because I didn't know what to do.
Kuko sinari nzi ico gukora.
So I just sat there.
Nagumye nicaye aho ngaho gusa.
A little while later,
Hashize umwanya muto,
you started to, like people mentioned, you started smelling some type of something was burning.
ntangira kumva impumuro y'inka ikintu kiri kugusha.
But I just stayed there.
Ariko nkomeza nicaye aho
Because I
ngaho.
didn't want to leave him.
Kuko sinari nshaka gusiga papa.
So I stayed there while the tent was burning.
Narahicaye ihema iri gusha.
And it burned half of my left back.
Irasha mu gice cy'ibumoso cyose canje inyuma kirasha.
All this is happening, I'm not feeling any pain.
Ibyo byose ubwo byabaga nta bubabare na bumwe numvaga.
I was in shock. I didn't know what to do.
Gusa nari nikanze cyane ntazi ico gukora.
Some time went by and I finally decided to try to get out of there.
Umwanya muto ushize ntangira gutekereza ukuntu nakwivana aho hantu.
But I didn't know how. So if my whole arm was on fire, my leg was shot.
Ariko sinamenye ukuntu nohava kuko ukuboko kwari kwahiye, ukuguru bakurashe.
But all I can think about is a way of survive. I was thinking of a way I could get out of there alive.
Ariko ikintu natangiye gutekereza ukuntu nasohoka aho hantu ndi muzima.
So I crawled with my right leg.
Narakamze nkoresheje ukuguru kwanje kw'iburyo.
And crawled out of that tent.
Ndakamba kugeza nsohotse muri iyo hema.
And at some point on my journey out, I'll pretend to die because if you ever saw my body,
kuko kenshi na kenshi nsohoka muri iyo hema nariko ngerageza kwihwereresha kumera nk'uwapfuye.
Because if you saw my body that night, you'll think I was dead.
Kuko umuntu wese wari kubona umubiri wanje ako kanya wari kubona uko gusa ntagihari.
So I crawled out of there, and then all of a sudden, my mind just flashes out, and I don't know what happens next.
Narakamze nshaka gusohoka, ariko hageze aho numva ntakiriko ntekereza.
and I ended up waking up in a hospital.
nyuma yaho naje kubyuka nisanga mu bitaro.
And I don't know if anybody ever said this, but once you're in the hospital, all that pain just comes all at once.
ariko sinzi nimba hari umuntu ubizi, iyo ugeze mu bitaro bwa buribwe bwose utumvishije urabwumva.
So I think that's about it. I just want to say a few things.
ubwo nibwo buhamya bwanje, ariko nshaka kuvuga ikintu kimwe.
This month is really, really hard for me.
uku kwezi ni ukwezi gukomeye cyane kuri njewe,
Because it reminds me very, very bad things in my life.
kuko kunyibutsa ibintu byinshi bibi mu buzima bwanje,
It brought a lot of traumatic things in my life.
ibintu byinshi byankanze.
But we are here today.
ariko turi hano uyu munsi.
And every day I thank God for being here.
buri munsi nshimira Imana kuba ndi muzima,
Because my little brother has somebody to be there for him.
kuko musaza wanje afite nk'umuntu afite.
He didn't lose his whole family that night.
musaza wanje ntabwo yatakaje umuryango wiwe wose iryo joro.
We are still here living
turacahari kandi turi bazima,
in our father and mother's footsteps.
turahari ahangaha tugera ikirenge mu cyaba mama.
And yeah, that's it.
iyo niyo nkuru yanje. murakoze. muratwihanganira.
Hi, my name is Sarah. For you guys who don't know me,
ku bantu batanzi nitwa Sarah.
I'm just gonna tell you a little about my story today.
ngiye kubabwira ku inkuru yanje uyu munsi.
When all this happened, I was a few months born.
igihe ibi ngibi byabaye nari umwana w'amezi.
Basically, I don't know that much, but I'm gonna tell you guys what I know so far.
nta kintu nibuka cyabaye, ariko ngiye kubabwira ku byo nzi.
I was born in Uvira.
navukiye Buvira,
We moved from Uvira to Gatumba
tuva i Buvira tuja Gatumba
because of another war.
kubera intambara.
On the night of August 13,
mu kwezi k'umunani tariki 13
I was with my mom, my dad, and my two sisters.
nari kumwe na mama na papa n'abakuru banje babiri,
In one tent.
turi muri hema imwe.
That night, my mom got shot and my dad.
muri iryo joro papa na mama barabarashe.
My mom got shot while I was sleeping next to her.
mama bamurashe ndyamye iruhande rwe
When I was breastfeeding her,
ubwo nariko mwonka.
I breastfeed her blood and everything in her body.
naramwonse kugeza aho nonka n'amaraso yiwe.
Growing up, it affected me because I had to go to the hospital because of that.
ku gukura kwanje byangizeho ingaruka nini kubera ibyo mbese kubera amashereka nonse cyangwa ibyo nonse uwo munsi.
My mom was the first one to die.
mama niwe wapfuye wa mbere muri iryo joro.
She got shot. The bullet went through her and got my sister named Mukobwa.
mama baramurashe, urusasu rwamuciyemo rwahise ruja no muri mukuru wanje.
But I didn't get shot.
ariko nje ntabwo narashwe.
but everybody else in the room did.
Abantu bose muri ico cumba bararashwe.
My mom was shot and half burned.
Mama baramurashe kandi baramutwitse igice kimwe.
And my sister, older sister named Kobga, she got shot and burned.
Na mukuru wanje witwa Kobwa baramurashe kandi baranamutwika.
My dad got shot, but he didn't die right away. He got shot on his leg.
Papa nawe baramurashe ariko ntiyahise apfa uwo munsi, bamurashe ku kuguru.
So the only people that were still alive was me and my big sister named Mato. Most of you guys might know.
Abantu babiri bari basigaye yari njewe na mukuru wanje Mado.
Even though she got shot, but she got hurt, but she doesn't know. Like she couldn't feel the pain at that moment.
Nubwo bari bamurashe iryo joro ntabwo yumvaga uburibwe muri ako kanya.
My aunt came and tried to save us because she was sleeping in another tent.
Shangazi wanje yaraje ashaka kuturokora kuko arari mu yindi hema yo hirya.
And she came and grabbed me and put me on her back.
Araza aramfata nshira ku mugongo.
And my dad told her my sister is still alive as well.
Papa aramubwira nti na mukuru wiwe aracari muzima.
For us to get off the tent to run away,
ukuntu twavuye mu ihema twiruka tuja hanze,
we had to sleep on dead bodies for us to pass.
Twariko dusimba intumbi z'abantu kugira ngo turengane.
It hurts me the fact that growing up at this age without parents,
Birambabaza gukura muri iki gihe cyangwa kugeza muri iyi myaka ndafite ababyeyi. Muratwihanganira.
Mwihanganire biragoye.
Please take heart, it's so hard.
Ngize imyaka 18 nja mu buri cunamo cose ariko umunsi wangoye kuruta iminsi yose.
It has been 18 years since I started coming in this commemoration, but today is the hardest day.
Mumbabarire ntabwo nari kuri gahunda ariko reka nkomeze bano bantu bari hano ariko mfite ijambo ryo kugaya abantu bamwe gutya kandi ndabivuga nari navuze ngo ndabireka ariko ndabivuga.
Bisobanure. I was not on the schedule, but I feel like I want to say something.
Ngira ngo muri kubona ko hari abana gusa bari hano. Abana bari hano aba bose ndaho wari urengeje imyaka 10.
I think you can tell it's only young people that are here, and when they were at that time they were not young enough, they were not old enough.
Kandi ababyeyi bose ntibapfuye barahari bari mu state yabo baricaye.
And most of the parents are alive and they're just sitting in their houses.
So nicaye hano ntekereza umwana wavuze mbere umwana wa marehemu muhimuzi.
When I was standing there, I thought about the young lady that started to speak.
Ntekereza ukuntu abantu bari mu state yabo umwana wa muhimuzi wari ufite imyaka 2 akaba ari uhagaze hano yavuga ubuhamya bwiwe.
I thought about how the girl that was 2 years old is the one that is speaking right now, but the people that were old enough at that time, they're just sitting in the states and just being comfortable.
N'imiryango yabo bicaye mu mazu.
In their families.
Ndatekereza uriya papa haguruka papa Amerika.
I think Papa America.
ndatekereza ko ariwe mugabo mukuru wenyine uri hano ashobora kuba yageze isoni zo kuza guhagarara hano kubona sindababona. Yes, urakoze mzee.
There is other men, but I don't know why they were not brave enough to come here.
Okay. So ndashaka kubatuma mwembi.
I want to send you.
Mugenda mubwire abagabo bakuru bacitse ku icumu Gatumba yuko bahemutse.
Go tell the old men that were there that this is not fair.
Si irya mbere si irya kabiri buri mwaka iyo tugiye mu cunamo dusanga hari abana.
It's not the very first time or the second time, but every time when we come together like this, it's only young people.
So hano hari abana ba Muhimuzi, hari abana ba Gasosi, hari abana ba Pastor Tekereza, hari abana ba Muhorana nababonye hano.
We have kids that lost their parents on that day up here today.
So kuba mwaracitse ku icumu nk'abavyeyi ariko mugahitamo kutazaza mwitabira icunamo ngo aba bana bapfushira abavyeyi ari bo bazaza baza biragahitse.
For you to survive that night, but you just chose not to come today to comfort these kids here, I don't think it's fair.
So reka wenda ndeke kuzimura ariko ubwo mwumvishije muri abagabo.
Let me not say much, but I'm pretty sure you understand what I'm saying.
So irya kabiri reka nshimire bano bana bari hano bano basore bose.
But second, let me thank all these young ladies and gentlemen who are up
So
here.
umwana uhagarike Kamariza ndatekereza ko ntacunamo na kimwe arasiba imyaka 18.
The girl who just led this, she has been on this event every year.
Yeah. So umusore wese utazi n'ibyabaye mu Gatumba wari ufite amezi abiri ariko wumva yuko ari umutwaro rwose ndamushimiye.
A very young lady or gentleman who feel like it is a burden for them to come to this event every year, even though you don't remember anything, I really thank you.
Yeah. So mwumvishije izo bavuze tugeze icumweru dutanga ubuhamya ku online.
You heard what they said, and it has been the whole week as giving testimonies online.
Hari amajambo menshi nakuyemwo, hari umusore wavuze ngo twari dufite ikimwaro twaza tugira isoni kuvuga ngo umwana w'imyaka 8 ahumurize mugenzi wiwe w'indi myaka 10 w'inshuti yiwe amubwire ngo komera. Abavyeyi biwe baryamye hari yababishe, inshuti zabo ziryamye hari yazabishe.
I heard a lot of testimonies, but this is some few things that I gained out of those testimonies. There were young people that were saying that it was so hard or it was shameful for me to tell my brother or my friend, be comforted when you see your parents laying down dying.
Hari umuntu wabivuze ndibuka waza ureba mugenzi wawe ukabura ico umubwira ukagira nk'isoni ugasa nkaho ari we wamwiciye.
I remember when somebody mentioned this, I remember that when on that day you will see your friend and you will feel ashamed of telling them to take heart because it feels like you are the one that caused what happened.
Yeah. So uyu mwana yavuze se afite imyaka 2 twageze no imico irahinduka haba ibintu ngo ni Father's Day. Abandi bazaba postinga base buri Father's Day amafoto atandukanye ariko twebwe twabuze abavyeyi bacu. Hariho benshi batagira n'amafoto upostinga ifoto imwe undi mwaka ni yayindi undi mwaka ni yayindi tekereza ico kintu ariko abandi barahindura buri mwaka buri kwezi.
And again, remember, when we got here, there's this celebration that they do Father's Day, when every kid posted their parent, but it's hard for us who lost our father on that day to see us posting same pictures every year. And some of us doesn't even have pictures of their parents or their father. Because the picture were born or were burnt over there or lost.
Yes, umbabarire ko mpantwara umwanya sinzi yuko hari indi gahunda ihari ariko njyewe nacitse ku icumu mu Gatumba nari ncitse ku icumi Kalemi.
I am a survivor in Gatumba and I was a survivor in Kalemi.
Ariko mu Gatumba niho naburiye abantu bose. Kalemi nta bantu benshi hahaguye twarahunze gusa.
In Kalemi we didn't lose a lot of people, but in Gatumba we lost a lot of people.
Yeah. Ryari ijoro ku basore bari hano ryari ijoro ngiri tuvuye mu kabumbu twanezerewe cari gipindi natwe twari dufite game uwo munsi.
It was a night just like tonight, after games, after soccer game and other activities that we were doing that night.
So twese turataha mu masaha 2 nyuma y'iyo game abantu 166 baba baguye aho ngaho.
We all went home after the activities, and after 2 hours, 166 people died that same night.
So reka nsubize abantu bari bafite gahunda rwose ndeke kubicira.
Let me give the program to
Murakoze
those.
cyane kandi
Thank you
nakwifuza
so
ko
much.
aba bantu nibasubira hano abari hano twese duhaguruke uhobera umuntu mubwire ngo komera. Please.
I want you, whenever these people comes back, please stand up and hug at least one person and tell them to be comforted.
Muraho.
Greetings.
Abinjira bagende binjira gahoro ntabwo turi butinde ndango ningewe umuntu wa nyuma uri buze kuvuga.
I think I'm the last person that is going to speak.
Ntabwo ariko abantu bose baba bumva bafite izo mbaraga zo guhagarara hano ngo bavuge.
It's not that everybody is brave enough to stand up here and give testimony.
Mwaka ushize nanjye nibwo bwari ubwa mbere bwanjye kure kintu mbese ibyambayeho.
Last year was my first year to give testimony of what happened to me.
Suko ntabishakaga.
It's not that I didn't want to give my testimonies.
Ariko nyine hari ingaruka, hari igihe bitugiraho ingaruka nyuma yo kuvuga ibyo waciyemo.
Sometimes it impacted us after you speak about what happened to you.
Nanjye ndumwe mu bantu barashwe nabi mu Gatumba.
I am among the people that got shot or wounded in Gatumba.
Nkuko babivuze bararashe.
As they said, the gunshot was, we heard gunshots.
Papa yari muri ba bantu b'abagabo bajyaga gutorera hanze cyangwa se gutarama hanze.
My dad was among those parents or father that used to go gather with other men outside.
Baragarutse bamaze kugaruka ataranaryama nibwo bateye isasu rya mbere.
And when my dad came back, before even he went to bed, that's when we heard the first gunshot.
Nuko isasu rya kabiri niryo ryarashe umukecuru twari turi kumwe witwa twamwitaga kaka ariko ni nyina wa Kagigi.
And the second gunshot that I heard is the shotgun that killed one of the elder lady that we used to live with, that we used to call grandma.
Ndatinze umuntu wa mbere barashe yari mukuru wanje Nyasezerano.
The first person that they shot was my sister Nyasezerano.
Umuntu wa kabiri ni mama barashe.
The second person was my mom. She got shot.
Nje umuntu wa gatatu barashe mwacu.
And I was the third person in my family that got shot.
Hari ukuntu twarimo twihisha mugafata ibikapo by'imyenda mukabikingiriza.
There was a way that we were protecting ourselves. We grab our suitcases and cover or try to protect ourselves.
Noneho mukaryama hasi.
We lay down and bring a suitcase and just put right next to you to protect you.
Urusasu rwandashe ni nkaho barurashe hejuru ruca mu giti niko rwandashe.
I think the shotgun that wounded me, it came from top and then it shot me mukuguru.
Mumbavu.
And on my ribs. Thank you.
Hari ukuntu iyo urusasu rwaciye ku giti nyine rukobokaho nico cyatumye numva nk'ibuye ryari rinini rikubise ku mubiri.
I felt like it was like a stone that just landed on me.
Aho ngaho niho nahise numva imbaraga kubera ukuntu ryari rimereye ryari rishushe n'ukuntu nari ndyamye nahise numva imbaraga zicitse mu mubiri.
At that time I felt like I was powerless and weak.
Haciye umwanya mutoya turagera mama bari bamurashe gatatu kuguru kumwe ntago yabashaga gutambuka.
After a few minutes we realized that my mom got a shotgun 3 times on her leg and she was not able to stand up.
Nihuse gatoya turagerageza turahaguruka tugenda guca ihema inyuma.
And let me go a little bit faster. We stood up and we cut the tent for us to go out.
Ukugenda usohoka ni kubona imirambo y'abana ba Gaturuturu yabamuze yabandi ba papa bari barashwe ba Ntoni.
As we were walking going outside, we were going jumping after body to a body. You see people that you know on your way going out.
turangije tugerageza nyine gusohoka turasohoka.
And then we stepped outside.
Tumaze gusohoka twaciye hari ukuntu mujya mu byatsi duhura n'indi nimba ari intera hamwe nimba ari undi muntu wari ugiye gutega abantu mu bishanga.
And we met somebody that was, I think was somebody that was going to meet other people next to the tent where we were living.
Haciye umwanya mutoya duhita tugera ku muhanda nibwo twahuye n'imodoka y'abapolisi baje gutabara.
And then after a few minutes we were walking, we were all the way to the street. That's where we met the police car that was coming and collecting people that were wounded.
Ndateze tugeze kwa muganga niho baje gusanga abantu benshi bakomeretse, ni naho brother wa marehemu mama Ngendo yari afite umuhungu we wari wahiye ararokoka, bamuzanye kwa muganga niho yacika.
And then they took us to the hospital where we met a lot of people. We saw Mama Ngendo's son who came burnt everywhere, and then but he was not dead yet. But when they brought him to the hospital, that's where he died.
Ntabwo ndi butinde nyuma yaho niho bafasha abantu barashwe cyane cyangwa se bakomeretse cyane nibo batwaye kwa muganga muri mu Bujumbura.
And then after that they took people that were very wounded or were wounded hard, they took them in the hospital.
Ako turashima Imana ko twarokotse kandi turi bazima dukomeye.
We thank God that we survived that day and we are well and healthy today.
Kandi dusaba abantu bose suko twebwe turabarescapa ariyo mpamvu dukunda kuza kwitaba.
We will encourage everybody. It's not that it's because we are the survivors. That is not why we came here every year.
Nuko abantu bacu nubwo ngiye ntapfushije umuntu ariko Kamariza yapfushije abantu.
But it is because I have a friend, even though I didn't lost my loved one, but I have a friend who lost a loved one.
Kandi twese turi bamwe tugomba gufatana.
We are all one. We have to support one another.
Murakoze cyane. Ndagira ngo hari umuntu wansabye kuvuga, ndaguheza iminota kubera ko amasaha yagiye kandi hari izindi gahunda dufite inyuma. Ndaguheza iminota nk'itatu ugira icyo uvuga bagihagaze hano kugira ngo mwese mujyanane.
Murakoze cyane.
Thank you so much.
Uyu mwanya ni umwanya ugoye cyane kuvugaho nje nibwo bwa mbere ngiye kuvuga ibi bintu.
This is a hard time and this is my first time to speak.
Ntabwo umuntu aba abuze uzavuga ariko uzutekereza ukumva igihe kitaragera.
It's not that we don't have things to say, but we always think that it's not time for me to speak yet.
Ariko ndashima Imana kuko nyine umwanya ugeze.
But I thank God that today is my day to speak as well.
Mu Gatumba nabuzeyo mama na murumuna wanje.
In Gatumba, I lost my mother and my younger sister.
Ndakomereka na murumuna wanje na musaza wanje.
I myself was wounded, my sister was wounded, and my brother was wounded.
Umunsi batera mu Gatumba twari dufite inama y'ikorari hanze na pasiteri Kinyamahanga.
I remember that night when it happened, we had a choir meeting with Pastor Kinyamahanga.
Kubera ko twari dufite soroti ku cyumweru nyine kiza.
Because we had a conference coming that same week on Sunday.
Tumaze gukora iyo nama,
and when after the meeting,
tumaze gutegura ibintu byose uko biri bugende
after preparing everything how the conference is going to go,
turagenda turaryama.
We went and sleep.
Tugishika mu mazu niho twumvishije amasasu.
When we got in our tent, that's when we start hearing the gunshots.
Bararasa cyane.
The gunshot was going on for so long.
Kubera ko hari igihe bazaga kwiba inka bakarasa n'ubundi kuko bisanzwe.
Because we are used to gunshots for them when they come to steal cows around the tents.
Ariko uwo munsi amasasu aba menshi cyane.
But that night gunshots were different from what we used to hear.
twari kumwe na sokuru Minyati.
I was with my grandpa Minyati.
aravuga ngo reka soke yumve icabaye.
And he said, let me go outside and see what is going on.
ubwo yarasohotse bahita bamurasa
He went outside to look what is going on and he got shot and he died.
sokuru amaze gupfa hasohoka abahungu be babiri.
And two of his sons went out as well.
bahita babarasa guhanka.
They shoot them as well and they died immediately.
kandi uwo munsi niho bari bamaze nk'iminsi ibiri bavuye Kalemi nabwo bahunze.
And those they were just coming from Kalemi, surviving another war.
nuko baraguma bararasa cyane bararasa.
And the gunshots keep going.
aho turyamye mama yariruhukije gusa aravuga ngo ash.
Where we were sleeping, I heard my mother said, "Ash."
nta kindi yasubiye kuvuga bahita bamurasa arapfa.
She didn't say any other word and she was gone.
musaza wanje umuryamye nyine mu rubavu.
And my brother that was sleeping right next to her,
bahita bamurasa ukuguru.
they shot him on the leg.
boya nawe bahita bamurasa amaso n'umutwe guke.
And Beya, they shot her on the eyes and the head.
none kubera byari bimeze nabi cyane ntawazuguma hamwe twese twari tuguma kwiruka uzunguruka ucaho
Because it
ugaruka.
was so loud, everybody was running up and down.
ninjira muri shitingi yari rimwe mama Nyashemutsi.
I went in the next tent where Mama Nyashemutsi was.
ubwo ngo nshike gutya
When I got there,
haruguru iyindi side yari nyine ikindi gice cyo haruguru numva barashe abo kwa Nyamusore.
on the other side of the tent, I heard that they said that Nyamusore's family has been shot.
umugabo n'abana bane n'umugore.
A husband and a wife and 4 kids.
ubwo tugumye aho ngaho.
We still there.
bamwe biruka bagaruka ni muri shitingi gusa hanze batwitse amatara karaka cyane.
People were running up and down and there were fire next to the tents.
noneho numva nanje ndaremereye umugongo.
And I heard that my back is getting heavier.
ndabwira sinzi uko mbaye sinzi nimba bandashe kubera ntabwo umuntu yarazi by'amasasu.
And then I said, I don't know what is happening. I don't know if they shot me on my back.
nanirwa kuvaho narindi ndaguma ndapfukama ko nari meze nyine muri iyo position.
I couldn't move. I stayed in that same position.
yaraho ngaho.
I stayed there.
mu kanya gatoya
After a few minutes,
abantu baza batwica barinjira.
people that were killing us came inside.
baraza turahagararana kuko turi kumwe na Nyamukesha.
They were just standing there just like how I'm standing here with Nyamukesh.
barambwira ngo ninzana amafaranga.
And they said, give us money.
ndababwira ati nimba ari amafaranga mwari mukeneye mwari kuyadusaba ku mahoro.
And then I said, if you wanted the money, you could have asked in peace.
afata imbunda arandasa kandi.
And then he shot me again.
ngo ndase akaba ngo yarasigaranye urusasu rumwe niko yabwiye mugenzi wiwe.
And he told his friend that this is my last bullet.
noneho ubwo rusasu ruhita rufata shitingi inyuma.
And the bullet just touched the tent.
batora amasakoshi baravuga ati reka uyu nguyu nta kigiye kera twamuvunya amaguru turagaruka tumwice tumurangize. bazavuga ikirundi.
They were speaking in Kirundi and they said that this one is not going to survive. Let's just take things and go.
nuko barasohokanye amasakoshi yacu yari arimo amahuzu yose aho ngaho.
They took our clothes and our suitcases and they left.
bamaze gusohoka.
After they left,
sinzi ukuntu nyina Chantal yarebye muri shitingi abona akantu kakobo kariho gutya isa niyashanyutse gatoya.
and Chantal's mom saw like the tent was teared.
arafata arayishanyura yose
And he
irika.
tear it big so we can go out.
ubwo nje sinari kubasha guhaguruka ndavuga ati muransize baze banjane.
And then I told them, I was like, now you're leaving me so they can come and take me.
ndashimira mama Chantal cyane.
I really thank Mama Chantal.
ubwo ngubwo aba bana bose nari nabasize ndazi naho bari izi ngo bose bapfuye.
At that time, I didn't know where my siblings were. I thought they were dead.
bahita baza mama Chantal aramfata na Chantal umwe anshiga hano undi hano.
Chantal and her mom, they come and grab me, one hold on this hand and the one on the other hand.
turasoka twinjira mu ishamba riri aho hirya turihisha.
And we went in the forest that was right next to the
Ubwo
tent.
nahise nta ubwenge aho ngaho.
At that time, I didn't know what was happening
Kubera nari
anymore,
navuye amaraso menshi cyane bari bandashe
because
mu
I
mugongo.
bleeded a lot.
Hanyuma tumaze nta bundi bwenge namenye, naje kumenya ubwenge turi mu bitaro.
I didn't know what was going on until I was in the hospital.
Namaze ku gitanda amezi 3 ndahindukira.
I stayed in one position on the bed for 3 months without moving or changing positions.
Amezi 3 ashire batangira kungendesha nk'uruhinja.
After 3 months, they start to train me to walk.
Aho ndi bakambwira ngo Bea yapfuye.
And some will tell me Bea has passed away.
Aho ndi bakambwira ngo mbese bagahita bambikira Bea ko yapfuye.
And people will keep telling me that Bea passed away.
Ariko ndashima Imana ko twese turiho abakomeretse.
But I thank God that everybody that was wounded are alive now.
Abantu bose barokotse Gatumba Nyamukesha twari kumwe mu bitaro.
Survivors like Nyamukesha was with her in the hospital.
Ibitaro twarimwo batangira kuduhiga kandi.
In the hospital where we were, they came and found us again so they can kill us.
Iryo joro baraza abatwishe baza kureba abantu bashize muri ivyo bitaro.
That same night or the different night, they came in that hospital to look for the survivors.
Baradufata abaganga bwihishwa baratuzamura badushana kwa David.
And the doctors or nurses, they took us secretly and they took us in the van and they took us to David Hospital.
Ndashima Imana ku bantu bose barokotse.
I thank God for everybody that survived.
Kandi Imana yaradukomeje.
God has encouraged us, comforted us. God has healed us.
Ubu turi abantu bakomeye kandi turi abantu bafite ingo bafite abana.
Now we are most of us are married and have kids and they are very strong and powerful people.
Iki kintu mugeza agaciro cyane cyo kwibuka abantu bacu bapfuye.
Please value this moment of remembering those that passed away.
Kuko Eme yavuze,
just like how Eme said,
biteye isoni cyane kubona abana aribo babaza kuvuga ibi bintu bari bafite amezi.
It is kind of embarrassed to see just kids who were months old or years old to come here and testify of what happened.
Hariho abagabo, hariho abagore barokotse.
When there are men and women who survived that night.
Twisubizemo imbaraga.
Please take heart.
Kandi turabatsinzi.
We are conquerors.
Imana yaradukijije.
God has healed us.
Imana ishimwe.
Praise the Lord.
Ntago sindi kumenya impamvu abantu bahagaze hariya. Ntago sinzi imyanya yabaye mikeya kubera iki abantu bari guteza akavuyo inyuma. Mubwira abantu binjire tugiye gukora igikorwa cyo guha abantu bacu twabuze agaciro. Please ntago tubikora muhagaze aho ngaho ni mwinjire. Imyanya irahari iruzuye sinzi impamvu abantu bari guhagarara hanze nawe. Kandi dutuze please tubashe gutahura ibihe turimo ntago hari ahantu ho gusakuza. murakoze ku bavuye kuduha ubuhamya hano. Ndagira ngo nongere mbihanganishe. Nta majambo ngewe mfite navuga abakomeza cyangwa se abahumuriza. Hari aho biza bigera no kubwira umuntu ngo I'm sorry ukumva iri useless, ukumva ntaco ifite gukora ku mutima w'umuntu ubabaye. Mwihangane kandi mukomere, ni icyo ngicyo nobabwira. Hari ijambo SP yavuze muri aya masession twari tugize iminsi tujyamo, aravuga ngo nuzaje ubona umusurvivor ngo you don't have to say anything, uzaza umuhobera gusa. Natwe icyo kiroroshe n'icyo umuntu yakora, be there for each other, muzaza mubahobera kubera aba bantu bahuye n'ibintu umuntu atabasha kuvuga ngo abisobanure. Tugeze mu mwanya wo guha icyubahiro abantu bacu 166 biciwe mu Gatumba muri ririya joro. Ndagira ngo abantu bafite gusoma amazina mutambuke hano.
tugiye kuvuga amazina y'abantu 66 twabuze ririya joro ryo mu Gatumba. Nkuko nari mbivuze, ni gusoma amazina y'abo twabuze hariya mu Gatumba, ariko mbere y'uko tuyasoma ndasaba ngo umuntu wese uri hano ahaguruke mu byubahiro byanyu. Murakoze, mureke dutuze kugira ngo twumvikane. Turatangira famiye Pasiteri Minyati. Hariho Pasiteri Faustin Minyati, Kadafi Minyati, Merewe Neza Minyati, Nyanome Minyati. Famiye Pasiteri Rutekereza, hariho Jacques Rutekereza, Mushambaro Rutekereza, Igira Neza Rutekereza, Nyamasoso Rutekereza, Ndatabaye Rutekereza, Nyazahabu Rutekereza, Nyamuryango Rutekereza. Famiye Gasosi, hariho Eraste Gasosi, hariho Perusi Gasosi, Nyankumure Gasosi, Bahoza Gasosi na Debora Gasosi. Famiye ya Karaha, hariho Nyamusore Karaha, Debora Nyamusore, Ntarutwa Nyamusore, Kayanga Nyamusore, Ngezayo Nyamusore na Bebe Nyamusore. Famiye Rukamirwa, hariho Oze Rukamirwa, Bisetsa Rukamirwa na Mariasi Rukamirwa. Famiye Hayizuru, hariho Fie Hayizuru, Felix Hayizuru. Famiye ya Shemu, hariho Marisiana Shemu, Esperance Shemu, Jeremy Shemu. Famiye ya Shoni, hariho Masigabo na Shon, Nyakazi Shon, Musa Shon na Amani Shon. Famiye Kasa, hariho Nyahoza Kasa, Ziraje Kasa, Jeannette Kasa, Yvonne Kasa na Bebe Kasa. Famiye Minyati, hariho Thomas Minyati, Eric Minyati na Dudu Bitari. Ni Bitari. Famiye Zaroti, hariho Zaroti, Nyahoza, hariho na Bebe Zaroti. Famiye Kanyabitabo, hariho Odia Kanyabitabo na Neza Kanyabitabo. Famiye Musafiri, hariho Chantal Musafiri, Nyamugisha Musafiri na Patience Musafiri. Famiye Gapinga, hariho Nyabihogo Gapinga, Claude Gapinga na Gisele Gapinga. Famiye Musafiri, hariho Lydia Musafiri na Blaise Musafiri. Famiye ya Mandevu, hariho Lea Mandevu, Muhorana Mandevu. Famiye Butoto Sema Jambi, hariho Cheche Butoto, Fisto Butoto, Mupenzi Butoto. Famiye Muhire, hariho Munezero Muhire na Nyabyinshi Muhire. Famiye Mukwiye hariho Uzia Gashindi Mukwiye, Dando Mukwiye, Lucy Mukwiye na Daniel Mukwiye. Famiye Gaturuturu hariho Zera Gaturuturu na Tantine Gaturuturu. Famiye Mugabe Yohana hariho Nyabahiga Mugabe, Nyabirori Mugabe, Fiye Mugabe na Bea Mugabe. Famiye Rukungugu hariho Claude Nzabakiza Rukungugu, hariho Nyagazura Rukungugu na Muhuza Felix Rukungugu. Famiye Sebahire hariho Murekatete Sebahire, Patrick Sebahire, Kadada Sebahire. Famiye Munyegeza hariho Nyarukundo Munyegeza, Rusengo Munyegeza na Musore Munyegeza. Murakoze.
Famiye Maniragaba, Ndayisenga Maniragaba, Ange Maniragaba. Famiye Ntwari, Pauline Ntwari, Jeanne Ntwari. Famiye Gishoma, Askofu Gishoma, Kunda Gishoma. Famiye Biguge, Rumanzi Fabie Biguge, Inonsa Biguge, Didier Biguge. Famiye Runezerwa, Mukarugwiza Runezerwa, Bose Runezerwa, Biju Runezerwa. Famiye Muvange, Muvange Simo, Munezero Muvange, Edouard Muvange. Famiye Maronko Kagigi, Zera Maronko, Nyambo Maronko, Jeanne Maronko, Shasta Kagigi Maronko. Famiye Serugarukira Antoine, Nabitanga Serugarukira, Nyantebuka Serugarukira. Famiye Runagana, Manase Runagana, Catherine Runagana, Mukobwa Runagana. Famiye Gasungunu, Tonia Gasungunu, Davidi Gasungunu. Famiye Ngakaji, Inyase Ngakaji, Emmanuel Ngakaji, Daniel Ngakaji. Famiye Kalala, Nakiza Nezia Kalala, Ngwabi Kalala. Famiye Ngirabakunzi, Nyagakobwa Ngirabakunzi, Bebe Ngirabakunzi.
Umaze kumva amazina y'amafamiye, liste nje mfite ni abantu donc bagiye bapfa ku giti cyabo. Muri hanganira amazina ne tutavuga neza. Natangira kuri famiye yanje, pronunciation harabata bivuga neza, ariko nje famiye ni ya Muyengeza. Hariho mama Nyarukundo Muyengeza, Musore na Claude Muyengeza. So nanjye ngiye kuvuga amazina muri hangana nitavuga neza. So hariho Banana Gasore, hakabaho Nyamubyeyi Gafita, hariho Ndayishimiye Muzuri, hariho Mambo Kazingo, hariho Revera Pasteur André Ndakanirwa, Kazingo Bizimana, hariho Bikwerere Rusekeza, hariho Niyitanga Semugazanya, hariho Abwe Lulinda, hariho Asukulu Bokeo, hakabaho Echa Mbelechi, hariho Lukele wa Lukele, hariho Angalisho Mambo, hariho Evariste Sumali, hariho Asumbelo wa Sumbelo.
These are the child victims that we lost. Mukobwa Munyakuri, Nyamunezero Zuzi, Kajei Ruganza, Nyangore Rugabo, Sifa Maria, Michael Nzungi, Afande Binyonyo, Chisekedi Rwige Mase Muhoza, Dasarara Mugiraneza, Espoir Rwibagiza, Niyonkuru Sekabumba, Delphine Byamunea, Regine Batumbuka, Leon Ayochi, Sadi Nyampamba, Bahati Nyampamba.
N'abakobwa bagiye bapfa umwe mu muryango Murora Rugeza, Odia Ndagiro, Mado Gahakanyi, Nyamatungo Seruhungu, Gombe Rushemuka, Nyantonesha, Zikama Nkwere Musore, Jeannette Kiza, na Mirenge Ndalo, Nyakirindo Ruhumuriza.
Abantu bari ku buhanga bw'ibyuma mutuzimiriza aya matara yose please. Muyazimye yose nimba byakunda, murakoze. Izi candles twakije ni 166 zipresentinga ubuzima bw'umuntu wese wiciwe mu Gatumba ririya joro. Tugiye gufata umwanya please, ntimuvuge. Tugiye gufata umwanya buri muntu wese yibuke, waba ufite abo wari uzi muri ririya joro basize ubuzima hariya hantu, baba hari abo utazi, waba ufite umuryango, please mureke dufate umwanya twibuke ubu buzima, kandi mureke aya matara twakije, izi kando twakije zituzanire hope mu buzima, zitugarurire icyizere cy'uko justice is coming. Murakoze. Murakoze, mureke gukubita amashi, musubire mu byicaro byanyu, mureke gukubita amashi, ntimwongere gukubita amashi please. Nimwatsa amatara mwongere muzimye n'utwo tuntu baratwanika. Umutuzo please, umutuzo. Murakoze. Simpamenye impamvu abantu bari gusohoka hanze. Ni iki kiri hanze? Muzajya mugerageza kumenya ibihe mwajemo, ntago muzaza muza hano ngo mujye gukorera inama hanze kandi hari ibyabazanye hano. Please muzajya mwubaha ahantu muri. Ndagira ngo niyegereze Kiyobe, sinzi nimba ari hafi. Mwihangane ntiturarenza amasaha, turasa n'abari kugana ku musozo. Abantu mubashe gutuza kugira ngo mwumve ibigiye kuvugwa hano please.
First and foremost, I would like to greet you all. We would like to take this moment to offer our condolences to the family of the 166 innocent men, women, and children that were unjustly taken away from us and Wanyamulinga community as a whole. Before we proceed, I will request everyone stand up for a moment of silence and remember our loved ones. May everyone stand up. You may be seated. So ndavuga mu cyongereza Queen ibyo mvuga byose mu cyongereza aramabisubiramo. So good translating kugira tidutashe umwanya aramabisubiramo mu cyo navuze. We would like to take this moment and thank everyone that have traveled here today and those that are streaming the service right now. As a survivor, that means a lot to me that your presence is here. Secondly, we would like to thank the GSRF committee for trusting us with Friday night programming. If I may ask anyone with the white shirt that's helping, can they please come up here? The ladies you see on the stage volunteer to create this space to honor our survivors as well as the victims. If you would like to volunteer next time or next year, you can talk to any of these ladies up here or myself, and we'll be glad to help you be able to help us as well. Since 1964, Wanyamulenge people have been targeted and killed. This year will mark 58 years of systematic and target killing of Wanyamulenge people. As we all know, the month of August is like no other in our community. There is strength in remembering. August is a month to remember. Let's remember a few. August is a month for us to remember those that died in Murere. August is a month for us to remember those that died in Kalemi. August is a month for us to remember those that died in Rumbashi. August is a month for us to remember those that died in Kabera. August is a month for us to remember those that died in Minembwe. August is a month for us to remember those that died in Kinshasa. August is a month for us to remember those that died in Kimani. August is a month for us to remember that dies in Gatumba. And most importantly, August is a month for us to remember those that are still getting killed to this day. It is very disappointing, even more disrespectful to see that our people in our community continue to disregard this month. If we do not honor ourselves and those departed, we cannot expect others to do the same. There are 11 other months in the whole year for you to plan your events, and please do so. If we do not value ourselves, others won't either. Planning anything around this is blatantly disrespectful, insensitive to the survivors and the community as a whole. I rest my case. This year's memorial theme is to invite us to explore the meaning of justice and what that looks like for us survivors. The notion of justice seems bleak and unattainable after so much loss that we have experienced and continue to experience till today. Would justice bring back my loved ones? Would justice undo all the trauma? Would justice rebuild my home? Would justice give me back my childhood? Will justice heal all my wounds? Is justice taking one life in exchange for one that I lost? Justice is not a reset button or a time machine that can magically undo the past. But justice can be healing. Justice can be us telling our stories, the good and the bad. Justice can be us giving grace to our parents and elders who have had so much to go through, so much trauma in their lives, as Bijou so eloquently said. Justice can be giving ourselves grace and understanding that all the pain and trauma, not our story, it is not our portion in this life. It is not normal that we do not have to be okay with this story. Justice is taking care of one another. Justice is us living in the right relationship with God, people, and land. Justice is taking care of the widows and the orphans. Justice is going back to Mikirambi and sitting with our elders, canonizing their stories, like Alex Muvambu once said. A story not told dies in someone's mind, and the truth grows along with it, and evil flourishes when it's not pointed out. Justice is truth-telling. Justice is standing up for yourself and one another. Justice is holding people accountable. Tonight we want to focus on justice as accountability. For so long, Banyamulenge people have been killed in heinous ways. In many instances, we do not even have the luxury to bury them. The point of this campaign is to hold Agoto Gwasa accountable. He needs to be convicted and arrested. By raising this money, we will pay the lawyers who would take this case to court. Having him convicted will send a message to the people that have been targeting us for the last 58 years. Banyamulenge people die daily and no one ever has been held accountable. Does justice not apply to us? Why do human rights not apply to us? This will send a message that our lives are worth it, that we will continue to die in vain. We will not continue to die in vain. By convicting Agoto Gwasa, we will show that 166 people who were killed are loved, valued, and their death was not in vain. Convicting Agoto Gwasa is justice for my mom. Convicting Agoto Gwasa is justice for my dad. It is justice for your brother. It is justice for your sister. And it is justice for your unborn children. Children who deserve the right to be born in a world where Banyamulenge feels safe, secured, and valued. Justice. We will always be our first line of defense. Thank you.
yemwe muzaza mureka tworoherezanye nasabye ko nta gukoma amashi sinzi impamvu mukiri gukoma amashi ntimwongere gukoma amashi please tafadhali ntimwongere gukoma amashi ngiye gusobanura ibyo Kiyobe amaze kuvuga mu rurimi rwacu rw'ikinyamurenge. Ndifuza gufata uyu mwanya kugira nihanganisha imiryango yabuze abantu muri iriya joro, abantu 166, harimo abagore, harimo abagabo, harimo abana, harimo n'abasaza n'abakecuru. Nifuje gufata uyu mwanya kandi nshimira buri wese abavuye mu mastate atandukanye mwakoze ku mwanya wanyu. Dushimiye n'abantu bari kudukurikira live, umwe mu bo twateguranye uyu mugoroba Grace utabashije kubana hano natwe n'abandi benshi badukurikiye, turabashimiye. Twongeye kwakira abacikacumu by'umwihariko ngo murakaze. Nshimiye komite itegura iyi event babashije kuduha uyu munsi wa Friday night kugira ngo tubashe kugira icyo tubikoramo, tubashe no gutegura. Turabashimiye byimazeyo. Aba bakobwa muri kureba hano bahagaze kuri stage baritanze, bakoze amanama atagira uko angana kugira ngo uyu munsi ubashe kugenda uko wagenze. Turabashimiye by'umwihariko. Tunasaba n'abandi bantu cyane cyane nk'abasore abazifuza kugira icyo bakora next year mwakwegera umwe muri aba ngaba kugira ngo abashe kubaho umurongo. Nk'uko twese tubizi ukwezi kwa munani n'ukwezi kudasanzwe mu bwoko bw'abanyamurenge. Muri uku kwibuka mu kwibuka tuza twibuka cyangwa se tuza hano tujya hamwe harimo imbaraga. Uku ni ukwezi kwa munani, ukwezi kwabereyemo amahano atavugwa umuntu atabona nuko asobanura ku bwoko bw'abanyamurenge. Ukwezi kwa munani ni ukwezi twibukamo abacu bishwe imurere. Uku ni ukwezi kwa munani twibukamo abacu bishwe Karemi. Muri uku kwezi kwa munani ni ukwezi twibukamo abantu bacu bishwe Lubumbashi. Ni ukwezi twibukamo abantu bacu bishwe Kabera. Ni ukwezi twibukamo abantu bacu bishwe mu Minembwe. Ni ukwezi twibukamo abantu bacu bishwe i Kinshasa. Ni ukwezi twibukamo abantu bacu bishwe Kamina. Ni ukwezi twibukamo abantu bacu bishwe mu Gatumba. Ntago uyu munsi ari umunsi wo kwibuka abantu bamwe, no kwibuka abo bantu bose bacu b'abanyamurenge bishwe urupfu rw'agashinyaguro kubera ko ari abanyamurenge. Kuva muri 1964 habaye umugambi wo kwica ubwoko bw'abanyamurenge. Muri uyu mwaka turimo turuzuza imyaka 58 twarabaye targeted y'ubwicanyi mu nzira nyinshi zitandukanye. Rero birababaje kandi biteye agahinda kandi biranasuzuguritse kubona abantu b'abanyamurenge wuzuye w'umunyamurenge ukomeza kubwirwa ngo uku ni ukwezi ko kwibuka, uku ni ukwezi ko kwibuka. Birababaje kandi biteye isoni. Nitutiha agaciro ntitukagategere mu bandi ko bazakaduha, ni twebwe tuziha agaciro mbere y'uko abandi bakaduha. Hari amezi 12 mu mwaka, hari amezi 11 wapangamo gahunda zawe ibyo ufite gupangamo. Muzajya mureka rero, hari abantu benshi bicaye hano babacika cumu cyangwa se babaye aho hantu hagiye hicirwa abanyamurenge, batagiriwe amahirwe yo guhamba ababo, batagiriwe amahirwe yo kurenza hagataka umuntu wawe ngo uhebe. Uko niko umuntu azaheba. Uku kuza hano tukaza kwibuka ni uku guhamba kwacu, uku niko gusezera kwacu. Wowe uba ugenda ugapanga gahunda zawe, ako ni agasuzuguro ku bwoko, ariko cyane cyane nkubwiye ko uko kuba ari ukwishima, ari ugukina ku mubyimba abacika cumu. Mbivuze muri makeya ariko mubyumve cyane, biragayitse kandi biteye agahinda. Muzajya mupanga gahunda zanyu mu yandi mezi, ariko ku kwezi tuguharira ibihe byo kwibuka. Iyo ni point ya mbere nyivuyeho, irarangiye. Mvuze buke ariko ndizera ko mubyumvishije. Kwibuka k'uyu mwaka twakoresheje term ivuga ngo I am more than a conqueror. Igamije kutwereka cyangwa se kutwigisha ubusobanuro bw'ubutabera, ndetse nuko twebwe nk'abanyamurenge tureba ubutabera mu maso yacu. Ubutabera kuri bamwe muri twe bwamaze kuba nk'inzuzi umuntu arota akibagirwa, kubera impfu zagiye ziba ingaruka mwaka, ingaruka munsi, twarangiza ntitubone abantu babihanirwa, ubuzima bugakomeza nkaho nta cyabaye. Tukibaza ngo se ubu butabera bavuga buzatumarira iki? Ese ubu butabera bavuga buzagarura abacu twabuze? Ese ubu butabera bavuga buzadukiza ububabare tugendana nabwo? Ese ubu butabera bavuga buzatwubakira amazu yacu basenye n'inka zacu banyaze ngo zigaruke? Ese ubu butabera bavuga buzatugarurira ubwana bwacu tutabashije kubona? Ese ubu butabera bavuga buzakiza ibisebe tugendana nabyo? Ese ubutabera ni ugutanga ubuzima bumwe ukabugurana n'ubundi? Ubutabera tuvuga buvuze iki ku buzima bw'umunyamurenge muri rusange? Tukongera tukavuga duti ubutabera ntago ari buto twakoraho ngo busubize ibihe inyuma, nimumara bihindure ibyabaye cyangwa se ibyatambutse. Ubutabera ni ugukira, tugakira ibisebe tugira mu mitima, nubwo butabera. Kuri twebwe abanyamurenge ubutabera ni ukwicara tukavuga amateka yacu, yaba ibibi cyangwa se byiza. ubutabera ni ukwibuka ibyabaye ku babyeyi bacu, ubutabera ku banyamurenge ni ukwibuka ibyo twebwe twaciyemo nk'abana za young generation. Ubutabera ntago ari ukurebana mugenzi wawe ngo mutungane intoki uvuge ngo birakureba ngo njyewe ntago bindeba, ntago ari ubwo butabera. Ubutabera ni uguhaguruka twese tugahagarara hamwe, tugakorana hamwe, ukaba imbaraga za mugenzi wawe nanjye nkaba imbaraga zawe. Ubutabera ni ukwita ku bandi cyangwa se kwitanaho. Ubutabera ni ukuba mu busabane n'Imana. Ubutabera ni ukubana mu busabane n'abantu no kuba mu busabane mu gihugu. Ubutabera ni ugufasha imfubyi. Ubutabera ni ugufasha abapfakazi. Ubutabera ni ugusubira mu kirambi tukicara n'abasogokuruza bakaducira imigani, bakatubwira amateka y'umurenge. Ubutabera ni ukubwirwa ukuri kose, apana guca hirya. Bisubiremo, ubutabera ni ukubwirwa ukuri kose. Ubutabera ni ukutareka ngo urenganwe. Ubutabera ni uguhanwa mu gihe wakoze ikintu kibi. Muri iri joro turifuza kuvuga ku butabera buhana ikibi cyakozwe cyangwa se ikibi cyakorewe umunyamurenge. Mu gihe kirekire abanyamurenge bishwe urw'agashinyaguro mu nzira zose zitandukanye. Mu magambo asobanutse, nta nubwo duhabwa ibyo maze kuvuga mu kanya, ntabwo duhabwa amahirwe yo guhamba abacu. Arishwe urw'agashinyaguro, ariko barateruye nk'aho ari inyamaswa bataye hariya, asigaye aribwa n'inyamaswa ku musozi. Ubutabera ni uko natwe duhabwa ku gaciro ko guhamba abacu, tukabaha icyubahiro kibakwiriye. Intego y'iyi kampeni cyangwa se uku nguku duhagaze hano ni uko twifuza ko Agathon Rwasa ahanirwa amahano yakoze ku bwoko bw'abanyamurenge kandi byihanukiriwe. Agomba gufatwa agafunga. Ibyo mu kubikora tugomba nuko tuza hamwe tugatanga amafaranga. Ibyo ntago ari ibintu byakwikora gusa uku nguku ndi kubivuga, ni ibintu bisaba amafaranga. Ayo ni amafaranga azatuvamo kugira ngo habashe gushyirwaho unshinga abacamanza bazaca urwo rubanza. Abo ngabo nabo bagomba kwishurwa, ntago n'ibyo n'ibindi ntibyoroshe. Gufatwa kwa Agathon Rwasa agacibwa urubanza bizatanga message kuri bariya bandi birirwa biruka inyuma y'abanyamurenge bakeneye kubamaraho. Bizatanga message kandi iremereye kugira ngo babashe natwe kuduha agaciro nk'abantu cyangwa se nk'ikiremwa muntu. Gufatwa kwiwe cyangwa se gucibwa urubanza bizatanga message iremereye ku bandi batugendaho nk'ubwoko bw'abanyamurenge cyangwa se bagize iminsi batugendaho muri imyaka 58 navuze ishize batugendaho. Abanyamurenge bapfa uko bwije n'uko bukeye, ariko ntawe bihanirwa, ntawe urabihanirwa ngo bavuge ngo uyu muntu niwe dukwiye guhana kubera impfu z'abanyamurenge zidasobanutse. Ntawe. Tukibaza, none se ubutabera ntabwo bukora ku bwoko bw'abanyamurenge? Kubera iki uburenganzira bwa kimuntu butagira imbaraga cyangwa se bugera ku munyamurenge bugakwama? Kubera iki budakora ku buzima bw'umunyamurenge? Ibi rero ibyo twifuza gukora cyangwa se kurezinga aya mafaranga bizadufasha kugira ngo dutange ubutumwa hanze, bibashe kongera kugarura agaciro k'umunyamurenge. Ntabwo ari byiza ko umuntu wese avogera umunyamurenge ngo kubera ko tudafite umuvugizi. Gutanga aya mafaranga cyangwa se kuza hamwe tugakoranya tugashyira hamwe aya mafaranga bizatuma ubifiteho uruhare, wagize uruhare ku bantu 166 ko bapfa, afatwa agafungwa. Gucibwa urubanza kwa Agatorwasa kuzerekana ko abantu bacu 166 bishwe ririya joro ko nabo ubuzima bwabo bufite igisobanuro, bifite icyo bisobanura. Gufatwa kwiye kuzatanga ubutabera kuri mama wawe, kuri mama wanjye, kuri papa wawe, kuri papa wanjye, kuri musaza wawe, kuri mushiki wawe, cyane cyane no ku bana banyu bataravuka. Ni byiza ko umwana avukira mu gihugu akunzwe, ahantu yumva ko ari amahoro, ntacapfa kumukoraho. Murakoze. Ndagira ngo nakire Patrick. Mwagenda.
As we've heard them speak, this campaign is to raise funds to allow this case of what happened in Gatumba to be taken to court. One thing that they left out is how much all of this would cost. And so it would cost $60,000. 60. And I know it sounds like a lot, but very quickly I just want to show you guys how it's possible for us to raise that money ourselves and not having to ask outsiders.
Ngiye kubereka ukuntu byoroshe nubwo twumva ari amafaranga menshi, ukuntu twayivanamo twenyine tukanasaba n'abandi inshuti zacu.
So can I have everyone pull out their cell phones, please?
Reka mbasabe mwese mufata amatelefone yanyu
and go to the calculator feature.
Tugiye gukarikira. Let me have my cell phone.
I have you guys taken out your phones so you can see the numbers for yourselves. Okay. And so let's say you as an individual were to give $20 a month for 1 year towards this campaign.
Amafaranga aja kuri iyi ntego tuba dufite.
And we will have a GoFundMe out for it.
Tuzaba dufite GoFundMe yabyo.
Okay, so 20, you type in 20.
Shiramo 20 muri calculatrice yawe.
And that's how much you're giving a month.
Ayo ni uzoza uwotanga ku kwezi.
So you're going to multiply that by 12 months.
Ukube inshuro 12.
Because there's 12 months in a year.
Kuko hari amezi 12 mu mwaka.
And you should get $240.
Amafaranga uzabona ni 240.
And you're probably thinking, well, what is $240 compared to $60,000?
Kandi urashobora kwibaza ntese idolari 240 ni zimaziki ku bihumbi 60 tuzaba dukeneye.
And so if we were to look around the room
turebye hano twenyine mu isale turimo,
and just remembering all of the people that we've watched step out,
urebe n'abantu basohotse hano hanze,
I'd say that there is approximately 250 people.
Reka tuvuge ko ari abantu 250.
So multiply that amount, that 240,
ukube 240
by 250,
uyikube 250,
which is how many people are in this room.
250 ni abantu dutekereza ko baba bari muri ino sale.
You have that 60,000.
Ayo mafaranga ibihumbi 60 turabifite mu ntoki hano.
And so how do I say this? So what I wanted to say is that we are more than capable of helping ourselves.
icyo nshaka kuvuga nuko turihagije twenyine kwifasha.
Justice isn't given, it's taken.
Ubutabera ntabwo buhabwa ari turabugwanira.
And so just showing you guys this, having you guys do it as well.
Ndashaka kubereka iki ngiki.
We're not able to do it without you.
Ntago twabikora tutabafite.
And you're not able to do it without us.
Kandi ntago mwabikora mutadufite.
In order for us to raise this money,
kugira ngo tubone aya mafaranga,
we're going to need everyone to participate.
Twifuza ko buri muntu wese ya participating.
And so very quickly, if I can speak to the youth.
Reka mvugishe abasore muri aka kanya.
So thinking about this $20 a month, it sounds like a lot, right?
Itekereza kuri aya mafaranga 20 ku kwezi ari nk'ahari amafaranga menshi.
But $20 is the same amount that you're spending on gym memberships a month.
Ariko idolari 20 nizo ukoresha muri gym buri kwezi.
Or when you're going out.
Cyangwa usohotse hanze n'abagenzi bawe.
And you go out more than once a month.
Kandi uzusohoka n'abagenzi bawe birenga rimwe ku kwezi.
Yeah, and so at the end of the year, right, we have this 240 you an individual are giving.
Umuntu ku giti cye cyangwa umuntu umwe kuba yotanga 240 ku mwaka.
And so 240 sounds like a lot too.
240 ni nk'ari amafaranga menshi.
But many of us have shoes that amount.
Ariko bamwe muri twebwe bambara ibirato by'amadolari 240.
So I guess what I'm trying to say is that I mean all of those are good things, you know.
Ibyo nshaka kuvuga ibyo byose ni ibintu byiza.
But if we were to make this,
please.
If we were to make this a priority,
niba tubona ko ibi bintu ari ibintu bifite agaciro,
we'll be able to raise this amount in 1 year.
Turashobora kubona aya mafaranga mu mwaka umwe.
Yeah, thank you.
Murakoze.
Patrick, abantu mwihangane ntimusohoke tutarangije kubera ko turarangije turi kugana ku musozo. Patrick ni iminota mikeya, iminota igera muri 2 cyangwa 3, then Jose you up few minutes, then tukarangiza gahunda. Make it quick, okay? Huh? Make it quick.
Yeah, play on the top, if that helps. Y'all need me to come back? Oh, y'all got it. Alex, help him. All right, I'll get started. Hopefully, they'll figure out a way to start it or click on the slides. But for those who don't know me, my name is Patrick Guerreka.
Nitwa Patrick.
Mazina yanje yakivukira ni Patrick Ndayishimiye.
Those are my names.
Ababyeyi banje ni Innocent Guerreka na Esther Guerreka.
Those are the names of my parents.
And that's all the English I'm going to speak today. So hopefully you're okay with that. I'm going to start with myself. Like I said, I was born in Congo. Moved around a lot. But it was never for the right reasons.
It was what?
It was never for the right reasons.
It
was always us trying to find a better place to live or running away from wars.
Yeah,
from age 1 all the way up till I was 8. until we got the opportunity to come to the U.S.,
kugeza aho nagiriwe amahirwe yo kuza hano muri Amerika,
which I'm very thankful for.
kandi ndabishimira Imana cyane.
On to the next slide, please. And then, so as you all know, this is not about me at all whatsoever.
Nkuko mubizi uyu munsi ntabwo ari ku bwanje, ntabwo ngiye kwivuga.
This is about the Gatumba massacre.
Ibi ngibi ni ku bwa Gatumba.
And to bring awareness to the youth.
Kugira ngo dukangurire abasore bose.
A few months ago, I was at home just like any other 23-year-old.
Amezi ashize nari mu rugo nk'umuntu wese w'imyaka 23.
Just scrolling through social media.
Ndi kuri social media.
And I kept on scrolling and scrolling.
Nguma kureba nguma nzamuka.
But I got stuck up on a post that I saw on Instagram.
Ariko hari post nabonye kuri Instagram ndayihagararaho.
And it was the killings that were still happening back at home.
Kwari ukuntu abantu bakiriko bicwa imuhira.
And God picked for me not to sleep that night, so I didn't sleep.
Imana ituma ndasinzira iryo joro.
So that night I tried every way possible to sleep, but that picture kept on playing back in my head.
Iryo joro nagerageje gusinzira birananira.
It was just like any other day, but just that picture just kept on replaying.
Wari umunsi usanzwe ariko iyo foto yagumye igaruka muri njewe.
Which to me I prayed. That's one of the things I do when stuff like that happens. I pray.
Kuko nkuko nturambikora narasenze kuko ndasenga ibintu bimbayeho nkuko.
And I got an answer the next day.
Nabonye igisubizo umunsi ukurikira.
I showed up to work like any other day.
Nk'umunsi usanzwe.
But that day, the vision that I had was for me to make a change.
Ihishurirwa nagize uwo munsi ryari ukugira ngo ngire impinduka.
With the little power I have,
mu mbaraga nkete,
I wanted to bring awareness to the youth.
Nashatse gukangurira abasore.
I'm 23 years old. I'm young.
Mfite imyaka 23 ndi mutoya.
I have a very long time to live.
Mfite mbayeho imyaka mikeya.
But that day, I brought it up to my managers and asked them, hey, how can I make a change? I know I have something in my head, but I need to do something.
Uwo munsi nagiye kuri manager wanje ndambwira nti se nakora iki kugira ngo nkangurire abantu cyangwa mfite ibitekerezo ariko sinzi ukuntu nabikora.
And that came about with just finding a way to donate in any way possible.
Aho ngaho kwari ukugira ngo turebe ukuntu twakora donation iyo ari yo yose ishoboka.
I don't know if they could go back to the slides. If not, that's fine.
Sinzi niba mwasubira ku ma slides.
All right. I think we're getting there. If not, I can put it up. All right. I'll just continue off of my phone. I have everything on my phone. So, as we all know, we still have a problem in Congo.
Kuko tubizi ikibazo kiracari muri Congo turacagifite kugeza n'uyu munsi.
There's still village attacks.
Haracariho imihana iri guterwa.
Still killings.
Haraca abantu baracariko bicwa.
And there's still rape.
N'abantu baracariko bafatwa ku nguvu.
That's one of the reasons I was able to see that was because of social media posting all these killings and what was going on back home.
Iyo nayo niyo mu mpamvu imwe yatumye mbona ibyo ngibyo kuko social media iracariko ibyerekana kuko ibyo bintu biracariko bikorwa.
And with the Gatumba massacre, me being able to remember everything that's happened and with how much family that was, affected that day.
hamwe n'ibyabaye mu Gatumba n'imiryango yakozweho.
I have a lot of family that was affected that day. It's not my immediate family, but I have a lot of family. You all my family. But
Mfite imiryango myinshi yaba atari imiryango yanje bwite cyangwa ariko namwe mwese muri umuryango wanje kandi hari imiryango myinshi yakozweho rya joro.
so I knew I had to do something.
Nabonye ko hari ico ntegerezwa gukora.
We have many ways we can help out. They just talked about a lot of ways with donations.
Dufite inzira nyinshi twakora kugira ngo dukemure iki kibazo cyangwa tugire donation twico twakora.
The bigger picture I want to get to is how a lot of us, the youth,
ishusho nyamukuru nshaka ko tubona nuko twebwe abasore
is that we come to these events.
Tuza muri aya mahuriro.
We come, we have fun, we play soccer, we play basketball.
Tukaza tugakina umupira w'amaguru, tugakina na basketball.
We obviously enjoy ourselves. We enjoy seeing people we haven't seen in years.
Tukabona abantu tutarigera tumaze iminsi tutabonana nabo.
But we also tend to forget what brought us here.
Bigatuma rimwe na rimwe twibagirwa impamvu twaje hano.
I want to wake you guys up.
Shaka kubakangura.
Just like how that night I couldn't sleep.
Nguko rya joro ntabashije gusinzira.
I want you guys to wake up today.
Shaka ko namwe mubyuka uyu munsi.
Find your way of change.
Nimushake inzira yo kugira ico muhindura.
I know you can find something. It doesn't have to be from your job. Just find a way.
Ndabizi uko hari inzira mwabona bidaturutse atari ukuvuga ngo namwe muraja mu kazi kanyu.
You all have things that you do during the day.
Urafite ibintu ukora umunsi ku munsi.
Hobbies.
Hari ibyo ukunda gukora.
Just mix it. Find a way.
Ikintu icyo ari cyo cyose ugira icyo ukora.
I didn't find my way by mistake, so.
Ntabwo nabonye inzira yanje gusa gupfa kuyibona.
We have many ways, just like word of mouth.
Dufite inzira nyinshi
just speaking to the public, basically.
Kuvuga muri public.
Social media, like I spoke on earlier.
Nkuko twavuze social media.
And then also teaching.
Cyangwa kwigisha.
Being able to teach those that don't know.
Kwigisha abatabizi.
Yesterday I was able to present this at work, the same presentation I was trying to show on the screen.
Ejo hashize nagize opportunity yo kutangira presentation impaye nkora hano.
My coworkers were shocked.
Abo dukorana baratangaye cyane.
Because they've never heard of it.
Baravuga nti ntabwo ndigera myumva bino bintu.
I am the only person in the company that's from Congo.
Ni jewe njenyine muntu muri yo company uva muri Congo.
Or that we want to really be specifically from Mulenge.
Cyangwa ni mashaka kubivuga neza uturuka imurenge.
So to them it was a shock.
Kuri bo barikanze.
For those who don't know, I do work for I do believe to me is the greatest company in the world, Apple.
You do what?
Apple.
You do Apple, you work in Apple?
That's right, yeah.
Kubatanzi nkora muri Apple.
And I was able to find out that during the way that they do a lot of things with donations.
Nagerageje kureba ukuntu bakora ama donation.
And I have found out that if I'm able to put our organization in the same website and the way they donate.
Nza kubona ko mfashe nka organization yacu kayikoresha cyangwa kayishira mu buryo batangare ama donation.
They are able to double not double but match the donation.
Barashobora kumatchinga ama donation. Siko tunabisobanura. Kinyamurenge kibaye gike. Okay, repeat it again. I'm gonna get it.
Like,
go ahead.
basically, if you are, let me put it in specifics. So if somebody donates $100,
okay,
Apple puts $100 in.
idolari tuvuge idolari ijana.
If you put in $1,000, Apple puts $1,000.
Ushizemwe idolari igihumbi, Apple gashiramwe idolari igihumbi.
10,000, they'll put 10,000 in there.
Washizemwe ibihumbi 10, ushizemwe ibihumbi 10 nabakagushira ibihumbi 10.
So all these things I had known, but that day that I couldn't sleep, the next day I was able to get all the information. And right now I've signed us up to be able to get those donations. And we should be getting the news very soon. And I can put that up there.
Ibyo bintu byose ntarinzi irya joro byananiye gusinzira biba ngombwa ko ngenda nkabishaka ubu nyine narabimenye kandi turashobora kubikoresha.
And I know we are trying to get justice. I've been praying for this for a long time.
Ndabizi ko turi gushaka ukuntu twabona ubutabera turabisengera ndabisengera.
And I am happy to say that one of these days we are going to be able to put that organization up there and be able to get those donations.
Biranejeje cyane kuba novuga ko uyu munsi dushobora gushira organization yacu muri ubwo buryo tukabona ubwo bufasha muri ubwo buryo twavuze.
With the help of SPE, we will be able to get all this done and get a lawyer as soon as possible.
Ku bufatanye bwa SPE tuzabona ubutabera kandi tuzabona ubu bufasha.
Thank you guys.
Murakoze cyane.
Nakomeje kubisubiramo kandi ndongera mbisubiremo. Tubane murakoze. Muri gusakuza abantu bari kudukurikira n'ubu muracyari gusakuza. Tubane please. Abantu bari kudukurikira bari kohereza za message ngo ntago musa n'abantu baje mukiriye. Would you please guys stop doing mureke gukomeza gusakuza mureke no guseka. Nago turi mu mwanya wo guseka, to be honest. Mureke gukoma amashi, mureke guseka. I repeat, mureke guseka, mureke no gukoma amashi. Mutahure icyatuzanye hano. This is not the time of kwicara hano muri guseka no gukoma amashi. Murakoze.
Munyemerere mbasuhuze nubwo harimo abantu banduta. Mwiriwe mwese. Amazina nitwa Jose Kamariza, nanje ndi umucikacumu, nari nkiri muto, ntabwo nabashije kubibona cyangwa se ngo mbyibuke, ariko ababyeyi bagenda babitubwira. Ndashaka kuvuga poem, umuvugo, ariko mu by'ukuri ntabwo ari nje wawanditse. Ni umukobwa bita Mfrakazi, ari mu bo bateguye bino bintu ariko ntabwo abashije kuza. Gusa yansabye ko nabasha kuvuga kuko yawukoreye uyu munsi. So nimwumva hari aho teshagujwe, muze kunyihanganira kubera ko maybe nonanirwa gusoma ikinyamurenge neza kuko bikwiye. Murakoze. Gatumba wasabye ubuhungiro urabuhabwa, amahanga arabyemera, ariko utewe ntiwatabagwa, wicwa urw'agashinyaguro. Wari umuntu usa nk'undi agigwa inzoka n'igicibwa. Wari umuntu usa nk'undi witwa umunyamurenge. Kubaho kwe bigirwa icyaha, kubaho kwe bigirwa icyasa mu gihugu. Bati aho mubona umunyamurenge mu murandure. Nuko arahigwa agirwa inenge, igihugu kiranga kimubera gito. Gatumba we, Gatumba we. Zatangiye bica amarenga, baraducunga baradutanya. Urwango rukwira Gatumba. Umunyamurenge aricwa abuzwa amahwemo. Abanyamurenge baraharenganiye. None munyamurenge unyumva, ibuka ibyo byose byabereye mu Gatumba ndetse n'ibiri kubera imurenge maze ugira uti ntituzongere gupfa ukundi. Hari mu ijoro ryo kuwa gatanu tariki 13 kwezi kwa munani 2024 abanyamurenge barashavuye iyo nteruye inganzo intimba ubwiranganza kuko byari ijoro ry'incamugongo, ijoro ry'imiborogo, ijoro ry'amaraso, ijoro ry'urupfu, ijoro ry'amarira, ijoro ryo kwiheba. Ijoro ry'umubabaro, ijoro ridafite ejo hazaza, ijoro ry'urwango, ijoro ritazibagirana mu mitima y'abanyamurenge. Ntabwo nari mpari ariko numvise bavuga umwijima wabunditse Gatumba, abantu barenga 166 baricwa urw'agashinyaguro, abandi batwikwa ari bazima. Ntabwo nari mpari ariko nabonye agahinda n'intimba mu maso y'ababyeyi n'abana. Ntabwo nari mpari ariko nabonye aho umubyeyi bamwicira abana be mu maso. Bamwicira abana be mu maso areba. Nabonye aho umwana yigwanyeho kugira ngo arebe ko yakiza umuryango, ariko birangira asizwe ubupfubyi. Nabonye umukobwa ukiri muto arera barumuna be, nta byiringiro by'ejo hazaza yari afite. Mumfashe mumpoze kuko nabonye aho umwana w'umuhungu yita kuri nyina akamukorera ibyo yagakorewe n'umwana w'umukobwa, ariko kubera kubura ndi babura kindi byatumye akora mu bitari mu nshingano ziwe. Gatumba we, pore wewe wasizwe ubupfubyi, pore wewe wapfakaye, pore ku batigeze babona imirambo y'ababo bakundaga. Pore those who remember with chat memory. Pore wewe wabuze abawe. Gatumba genda atumaze abacu, tuzahora tubibuka mwe mwazize urupfu rw'agashinyaguro. Imana izabahe iruko ridashira. Humura munyamurenge, humura kandi ukomere, Uwiteka kubere igitsikamo mutima, kandi Imana ni umutabera izadutabara. Murakoze.
Arakoze. Abantu mube muretse gusohoka, nimba muri gutaha hari indi gahunda turi bukore hanze kandi ikeneye abantu bose, none mwihangane mwe muretse kugenda. Niyegereje umuyobozi wa mpa yaje hano asa n'utinze bukeya. Ndagira ngo mbere yuko turangiza, turarangije ntimurambirwe, tumuhe iminota 2-3 agira icyo avuga kugira turangize.
Urakoze Queen.
Thank you, Queen.
Ndashaka gushimira urubyiruko rwose.
I want to thank the youth.
Uyu munsi twawushizeho kugira ngo muzamwitabira.
Today we made this day so everybody can come and gather.
Mwumve ubuhamya buva ku bandi basore bagize ibi bibazo mu Gatumba.
So you can come and hear testimonies of other youth that was in Gatumba.
Mwakoze kwitabira manifestation.
Thank you for coming on manifestation.
Mwakoze kwitabira kuza kwizihiza no kwibuka abandi bakinyi bo muri ekipe ya Twegerane bahoraga bakina ibuvira ndetse bicwira mu Gatumba.
Thank you for coming and honor those the soccer players that passed away in Gatumba, and thank you for coming and gather here.
Cyo twabasaba butaha ndabizi ko mwitabira ama ekipe cyane no gukina saka ndifuza ko muzaza mwibuka mbere yuko mukina.
What I can suggest is for next year, before you start the games, try to remember first.
Kandi ndabashimiye kuba mwitabiriye uno muhango wa ninjoro wo kumva ubuhamya.
And I thank you for coming on this event of listening to the testimonies.
Ndabizi yuko havugirwa amajambo akomeye kandi aremereye.
I know we speak heavy words.
Kandi ariko kandi niko bibazo byagenze niko bimeze.
But again, that's what happened and that's how it is.
Ndifuza gushimira abavyeyi bose baje gushigikira kino gikorwa mukicara ijoro ryose.
I want to thank all the parents that came here to support.
Muzukuri biri mu nshingano zacu nk'abavyeyi gukomeza kwigisha abana bacu aya mateka.
It is some of our responsibilities to come here and support our kids and teach them about the history.
Ahubwo mu Kinyamurenge bazavuga ngo nukuzana niyonka umwana wese ufite ubwenge nk'imyaka 5 kuzamura yakagomba kuza no kubwirwa no mateka buri munsi agahora mu matwi yabo.
If it was possible, we will bring anybody, even at 5 years old, so we can tell them the story, so this story can remain in their minds.
Abakuru ko barasaza.
Our elders are getting old.
Dukeneye yuko ibyo muzi muzabisigire byose muzabicuranurira urubyiruko n'abana batoya.
We would like to know everything that you know, or everything that you know, to give to the youngest.
Rero muri iki gikorwa cyo kwibuka twavuga yuko ari ukubahesha agaciro.
In this time of remembering or the time of honoring,
ubundi wibuka uwo wibagiwe.
Most of the time you remember the one that you forget.
Ariko ntago bigeze bibagirana.
But we never forget them.
Buri mwaka ariko kandi buri munsi kubacika cumu.
Every year, or if I can say every day, to those that survived.
Ntagiye umunsi urenga cyangwa icyumweru kirenga udatekereje kubo watakaje.
There is no a day that passed by without you remembering the loved one that passed away.
Njewe nafushije murumuna wanje.
I lost my younger sister.
Yari afite imyaka 6-7.
She was about 6 to 7 years old.
Nafushije na mubyara wanje twareraga umukobwa.
I lost my cousin that we raised in our family.
Njewe murumuna wanje nije wamureraga.
I used to take care of my younger sister.
Naramuhekaga.
Carrying her on my back.
Ibuvira tukaja gukina n'abandi bana tungana.
In Uvira we go to play with other kids our age.
Ariko nkuko Queen yabivuze ikintu kibabaza cyane.
But just like how Queen said, what is the most painful thing?
Nukudahamba ukunda.
Is not to bury your loved one.
Ari mu bana bishwe barashwe.
She's among the kids that was shot.
Ngo arangize batwika shitingi arashe.
And then they came and burned the tent and she was born.
Uko babimenyaga nuko mama yavuga ati aha niho narasiwe.
The way that they could recognize her is that my mom came and said I was wounded over here.
Bishoboke ko aya magufwa ari aya mukobwa.
And maybe it's possible that these bones belongs to my daughter.
Ariko urabizi ko bagenda basakuma bishirira.
As you know, they go around and just take all the bones.
Bakabiterera mu ishashe.
And they will just put in the bag.
Bahamba muri Force Commune twese tuzi site ya Memorial mu Gatumba.
And as you know, where they put all the bodies.
Hari gihe kenshi umuntu ajyama.
Most of the time you go to bed.
Kubera yuko utahamze.
Because you never bury your loved one.
Ugatekereza ngo none yaratetswe.
Maybe you would think that they took her as a captive.
ndetse n'inzozi zikaza zikakwereka yuko agihari.
Or maybe you would dream that the person is still alive.
ariko uko byagenze kose ntabwo turi kumwe.
But whatever happened, we are no longer together.
turamutekereza buri munsi.
We think about her every day.
hari abana bari bangana tubana hano.
There are kids that was her age that we live together.
hari umwana witwa Kanyambo n'undi witwa Jeanne.
There's a kid called Jean and Kanyambo.
nza nyibuka bari abana kuko narabareraga nyine bose bari bangana.
I remember she was the same age as them.
nza ndeba aho bageze ubu nyine mu buzima.
When I see where they are right now in their lives.
kandi nza nkunda kubakurikirana cyane kubera ko mba nshaka kureba aho umukobwa yo ageze nawe.
I always try to see or to follow them and see what they're doing because I will imagine what my sister will be right now.
kuri ubu benshi barangije universite.
Most of them has graduated from university.
barakora mu ma financial firms.
They work in financial funds.
Mwumva ibyo twatakaje.
Just hear what we lost.
And iyo ni story ya famille yanje.
That's the story just for my family.
twafushije umwe.
We lost only one person.
ariko abenshi bafushije umuryango wose urazima.
But most of the family, the whole family was dead that night.
mwumva urwo ruhombo.
Imagine that kind of loss.
ku muryango.
For the whole family.
kuri community.
For the whole community.
ku gihugu.
For the country.
niyo mpamvu dukwiye kubona ubutabera.
That's why we need justice.
ndashaka gusabira imbabazi umuntu wese woba wabaye offended kubera abantu bakomye amashyi cyangwa basetse abari gukurikira live.
I would like to ask for forgiveness for anybody that was offended if you heard the clapping or anybody smile or laugh. If you are following us online.
hari abantu badashobora kugraspinga intimba abantu bagendana.
Some people cannot grasp the pain that we go around with.
abantu batabibayemo ntago bashaka kubitekereza.
If you didn't live, if you were not on the site, you may not realize or you may not understand it.
bamwe bakumva ko baje gusa guhanging out n'inshuti.
And some will think that they're just here to hang out with their friends.
abandi bari speechless bakabura amajambo.
And some of us are speechless.
bakumva ko kubyibagiza no kutabitekereza no kutabyumva somehow birabafasha kudilinga n'intimba bafite.
Some people will think that not to remember it or not to remember what happened, it is better for them to deal with what they're dealing with.
Njewe nakaza ndakara cyane iyo nabonye bashizeho amafoto y'abanyagatumba ku ma social media.
I used to get mad a lot when I see people putting pictures on social media, Gatumba's people's pictures.
Nubwo byari bishirira byari ibyacu.
Even though it were just ashes, it was our people. Thank you.
Zambona niyo muntu bamutwitse baza batwara igibishirira mu mazu yabo bakakomeza bakabyibuka.
I even see here when they do the cremation, they even take they just take the ashes and put in their houses.
Ariko bazabishira mu vases meza.
They put in beautiful vases.
Ariko bacu babataye mu ishashi.
But our people, they put them in bags.
Abantu rero bagafata ifoto.
People will take pictures.
Bakazita kuri Instagram.
And they will put on Instagram.
I mean, bizabi imbabazi.
I tend to get mad.
Zambona ntagaciro twabahaye.
I think that we are not valuing them.
Ariko ndabyumva ko habariho ikintu cyo kusakaza amakuru no ku raising awareness.
But I understand because we need to raise awareness.
I guess mfite conflict.
I think mfite intambara.
Zo mu mutima kumva ukuntu dukwiye kubihandling.
I think I have a conflict in me of how we have to handle it.
ibi nabyo bihuye n'ibyo abanyamurenge bakomeje bakorerwa no mu bihe twebwe twari tutaravuka.
This is related to what Banyamulenge has faced even before we were born.
Mu gihe twibuka cyangwa duha agaciro abanyagatumba,
when we honor the Gatumba,
dukwiye kwibuka abiciwe kuri Kirumba igihe cya Murere.
We have to remember those that passed away during Murere.
Abaguye mu mishasha yose bicwa na malaria.
Those that died because of malaria.
Bakicwa n'inzara.
Those that died because of hunger.
Nigeze kuvugisha Papa Banoge.
I talked to Papa Banoge.
Ambwira ko ari umucikacumu w'inzara na malaria hariya mu mushasha.
And he told me that he is one of the survivors of hunger and malaria in
Baraka. Baraka na muri Fizi, Baraka area.
In the Baraka area.
Ibyo bintu njewe igihe abanyabibogobogo bamanutse igihe batewe barasenyerwa baja ibaraka.
When Bibogobogo got destroyed and they moved,
natekereje ico kintu cyo kwicwa n'inzara na malaria.
I thought about that thing that people can die because of hunger and malaria.
Ntekereza abanyakabera.
I thought about Kabera people.
Njewe napfushijeho muyombo kurikira mama.
I lost my uncle on my mother's side.
Barabashinje, kubashinje.
They killed them with the knife.
They slaughtered them.
Thank you.
Babata muri Rusizi.
And they throw them in Rusizi.
Abagabo magana.
A lot of men.
Kugezaho Rusizi yose hinduka amaraso.
To the point the whole Rusizi was just blood.
Kandi bagiye batoratora abagabo gusa.
They were just picking just men.
Habe n'umwana w'umuhungu mutoya nawe bakamukuramwo.
Even a young boy, they would take them out of them.
Mfite mubyara wanje nyine wa muyomba w'umuhungu w'umucikacumu w'Ikabera.
I have my cousin who is one of the survivor of Kabera.
Yarokotse kubera ko bamwambitse ikanju.
He was a survivor because they dress him in a dress so he can look like a girl.
Ibyo byose abanyabibogogo basenyewe byanjeho.
When the Bibogobogo people the house got destroyed, the village got destroyed, I thought about that.
Cyo kimwe n'abanyarurambi gihe bagiye mu mushasha wa hariya mu kubwegera.
Just like how Rurambo people went again.
Ibyo byose byabaye umwaka ushize kuva mu kwezi kwa mbere kugeza mu kwicenda umwaka ushize.
All those happened last year.
Ariko kubera izo experiences zose abanyamurenge bagiye bagira mu myaka ishize,
because of all those experiences that Banyamulenge has faced,
no bya Gatumba
and Gatumba as well,
n'ukuntu bigenda nta mbabazi baho iyo babonye umunyamurenge n'ikubonye inyama.
And because of that, when they see a Munyamulenge, there's no mercy on it. It's like they found something to do.
Byakomeje kuyobora ibitekerezo byacu n'imyanzuro twafashe yo gutabara bene wacu igihe bagize ibibazo mu myaka ishize 2-3.
And it has led our thoughts of the way that we have to help our people during these last 2 or 3 years ago.
Dushimiye Imana ko bitababayeho mu rwego twatekerezaga.
We thank God that it didn't happen the way we were thinking.
Rero mu rwego rwo gushakisha ubutabera,
so on the behalf of founding a justice or getting justice,
dukwiye kwiga ku mateka yacu ya kera.
We have to learn about our past.
Titukaza dusuzugura ibintu.
Do not just not think about what is or disvalued things that happen to us.
Tuza dukora kugira ngo ibyabaye kuri aba bantu bose navuze ntibizongere kuba ku bandi n'ubu ngubu birimo kuba ku banyamurenge.
We have to work so hard so things that happened to our ancestors or in the past may not happen again in the future.
Kandi ibyo byose byahabaye dufite leta.
And everything happened while we had government.
Ndetse leta yafashije abicanyi ndetse nayo ubwabo baraparticipe kutwica.
Even the government participate in the killing that happened.
Kugeza n'ubu baracabikora.
Until today they're still doing it.
Rero mu gihe igihe icyo ari cyo cyose dukore icyo ari cyo cyose kugira ngo dufashe bene wacu iyo mwumvise ko hari alerte iko abanyamurenge bafite ikibazo muri Congo.
So if they hear that there's alert that Banyamulenge are facing any kind of problem,
ndabingingira muza muzakira kandi mubifate n'umutima wo gutabara.
Please take it with your everything in you so you can help them.
nta muntu dufitiye imbabazi.
Nobody has mercy on us.
ni twebwe tuzifitiye.
We're the only one that has mercy on
n'uzadukiza azadukiza kubera ko twenyine ubwacu twitabaye.
And if anybody is going to help us, is going to help us because we helped ourselves first.
ndangiza.
As I'm finishing,
ndifuza yuko twibuka intwari zatanze amaraso yabo.
I want us to remember all the heroes that died because of us.
Kuva muri 1996
since 1960
kugeza ubu nyine muri 2022
until now in 2022.
Je napfushije undi muyomba witwa Rumenge.
I lost my other uncle called Rumenge.
Arahamze hari Buvira na Colonel Gakunzi.
He's buried
in
Uvira and all the heroes.
Zose ibyo ngibyo njewe nibyo bintuma gukora ibyo nkora.
And everything, all those are the things that make me do what I do.
Kugira ngo duha agaciro amaraso yabo,
so we can honor their blood.
Ibyo bagwaniye ntitugomba kubitanzira.
Everything that they have fight for, we cannot just leave it.
Amaraso ya Mukobwa nje niyo yanzanye hano.
The blood of Mukobwa is the one that make me come here.
N'abandi baje bakora amadosiye ahandi na amaraso ya Mukobwa n'ay'abanyagatumba n'abandi bose bagiye bapfa.
And many people that has the way to come here, it's because of what happened in Gatumba or what happened to other Banyamulenge.
I don't care nimba waravuye Bugande.
I don't care if you came from Uganda.
I don't care nimba waravuye muri Kenya.
I don't care if you came from Kenya.
I don't care nimba waravuye Burundi mu yindi myaka itandukanye.
I don't care if you came from Burundi in different years.
Waje kubera amaraso y'abanyamurenge yamenetse.
You came here because of the blood or that has the Banyamulenge blood that was shed.
Dosiye yawe ntabwo yari gufata utavuze izina ry'umunyamurenge.
Your document will not be heard if you don't mention a Banyamulenge name.
Rero nukomeza gusuzugura gutabara abandi.
So if you don't participate and help others,
you are taking for granted amaraso yamenetse.
Uba uri gusuzugura the blood that was shed.
Ndangiza.
As I'm finishing,
ndifuza ko muhaguruka mwese.
I would like everybody to stand up again.
Mu mitima yacu.
In our heart.
Turahire.
Let's swear.
Kutazata abandi.
That we're not gonna give up on others or our people.
No kutaha agaciro ayo maraso yose yatumye tugera aho tugeze ubu nyine.
And that we're going to value the blood that was shed for us to be here today.
Murakoze cyane mureke dufate umunota umwe.
Let's take 1 minute and think about that.
Murakoze cyane.
Thank you so much.
umuyobozi wampa arakoze. Mbere yuko nakira umuyobozi wacu SP banyirikanisa hano bansabye iminota nyabuna nturenze basi umunota umwe n'igice.
Arakoze kuduheza umwanya. Ndihanganisha abantu bose barokotse ara mu Gatumba ndetse n'abanyamurenge bose muri rusange kuko hari abantu bazashaka kwitiranya iyo bavuze ngo abanyagatumba bakumva nkaho abandi bantu baguye hirya Gatumba nkaho batahawe agaciro, ariko ico kintu umuntu wese uri hano dukurikiye gisobanuke neza ko iyi kese ya Gatumba yabaye sample kuko hari ukuntu iremereye tudagiye gusobanura ubunyine, ariko tubikora kwibuka abandi bose nkuko mwumvishije babivuze hanga. Rero turabihanganishije bene data mwihangane iryo joro twese twari duhari amasaha nk'aya ngaya twari duhagaze tutazi ico gukora abantu baye batugwa imbere abandi bakomeretse bantu batani 10 bakama gushikira wanda akavuga ngo nakomeretse mfasha ukabura ufata nureka byari bigoye ariko ya mwihangane rero twari duhagurutse gushimira abantu batanze hano hantu kandi ndabasaba kuko ibi bintu tuzabihagarika ruko ico twifuza twakigezeho ariko kandi ntitwobasha kuvugana tutabonye umwanya nk'uyu nguyu nitutazoza dufata neza ahantu batwakiriye bizatubuza amahirwe yo kuzoza tubona umwanya mwiza n'ahantu heza nk'ahanga kugira ngo tubashe gukora ibikorwa byacu rero reka nsabe mpereye ahangaha umuntu wese uraha nimba wanyoye amazi nimba hari ikindi kintu wakoze tuza dukora isuku ni nziza mu buzima ariko cyane cyane ahantu nk'ahangaha haba hasangiye abantu benshi hariya hari amatrash wofata icyo wakoresheje icyo aricyo cyose ugashiramo kugira ngo tubikore neza icyo ni cyambere cya kabiri muzi ukuntu uwosohoka akareba hanze uko hameze nta wamenya kuko ibyo turimo hano ari byo byatuzanye tuzajya tugerageza ari abategura ari n'abitabira tugira umwuka umwe niho bizagira agaciro cyane ndangiza hari amamodokari menshi hano inzira ni ntoya na space hano hanze ni ntoya tugerageze guhana umwanya dusohoke neza tutagira uwo twohitana cyangwa tukitera ibibazo by'amamodokari tugongana ikindi cyongeyeho aba bantu bose batuzengurutse bajyamye amasaha ni saa 7 zigiye kugera hatagira ukubita ihoni cyangwa ngo dusakuze kuko tuzaba tugiye kubangamira uburenganzira bw'abandi bantu murakoze
murakoze cyane kandi mwumve ibyo bababwiye kubera ko amasaha yagiye twatinze mutwihanganire ndashaka kwakira umuyobozi wacu SP azatange gahunda y'ejo anarangiza iyi event yo muri iri joro hanze hari igikorwa kidutegereje mwihanganye bihagije nanone mwihangane byose tubirangiriza icyarimwe
murakoze njye ntabwo mfite ibintu byinshi byo kuvuga abandi babivuze ndibaza ko mwese muzi impamvu turi hano no munsi ni ukwibuka abacu badusize mu Gatumba ndetse nkangurira n'abandi batabizi batazi impamvu turi hano no munsi kuko bafata umwanya bakabyiga kandi bakabimenya mu by'ukuri abenshi mwabivuze turategura nk'ubuyobozi ariko tukaba dusaba kandi tuzatwinginga abantu ko batwumva bagakora ibyo twasabye umuntu aragerageza na komite iragerageza ariko hazageraho umuntu nawe ananirwa ndakangurira urubyiruko rwacu kuko ni mwebwe twakoreye kino gikorwa cy'uno munsi nijoro ariko birababaza kubona muri sale yari yuzuye hasigayemo abantu bangana gutya abandi bose bari hanze ntabwo twabihunga nka kominote yacu y'abanyamurenge bigomba kuba bimwe mu nshingano zacu kwigisha kandi tugakomeza no kubakunda ntabwo we can't give up on our own ngo kubera batumva ibyo tubasaba ahubwo tugomba guhozaho kugeza babyumvise so turabashimiye ko mwaje abari indani n'abari hanze even doing the gesture of coming here it means a lot ejo dufite igikorwa that is waiting honors tuzatangira saa 3 za mu gitondo mwese muratumiwe. Hazaba hariho abashitsi benshi ndashobora kuvuga ubu nyine ngo mbamare. Tuzaba dufite meya wo muri no city ya Indiana, hazaba hariho n'ubuyobozi bwa prosecutor wa Indiana as well, n'ayandi ma organisation ya hano muri Indiana azaba yaje kuduhereza iyo honor. Please ndabasaba, kuko ari twebwe baje guhoza, ni twebwe baje gufata mu mugongo, tuzakora ibishoboka byose tuzabe on time kugira ngo badusanga aho ngaho. Rero ndabashimiye mwese ko mwaje, and I hope ko twese tuzahura ejo mu gitondo saa 3 za mu gitondo. Murakoze. Ikindi Pasteur aramubarira, muzukuri turagushimiye ko waduhaye hano hantu. I think umuntu yagize ama emotion menshi no munsi, hariho bimwe umuntu atayibuka. Ndagira ngo nagushimiye nkicinjira hariya mu muryango. So turagushimiye cyane ko wadufashije ukaduhereza ahantu ho kuririra. Tahandi, I don't think we will have had a better place than this. Na ahantu heza twisanzuye, kandi nimba hari ikintu twakoze dushobora kuba twacumuyeho, utubabarire. Turakora ibishoboka byose, du cleaning up kuko babidusaza ubuyobozi, and ibindi Imana izabidufasha. Urakoze.
Umuyobozi wacu arakoze, Imana imuhe umugisha. Turarangije, ndasaba umuyobozi wadutijije ikanisa ko wazi kongera ukadusengera turangiza, ariko tutarasohoka hanze hari ama balloons adutegereje twese abantu bicaye hano. Turarekura ama balloons 166 hariya hanze. Icyo ni igikorwa kidusaba twese ko tuhaba. Nimuva hano badusabye kudateza urusaku no kudasakuza, rero nituva hano twese tugende hariya kugira turekura hariya ama balloons ari hanze. Ni kare umuyobozi dusengera. Ndabashimiye mwese ku mutuzo mwagaragaje, abantu mwese abicaye mukageza amasaha. Twese tuzahurire kuri event zabe ejo saa 3 za mu gitondo zuzuye. Murakoze.
Reka duhaguruke twese. Mwimana turagushimira ku mwanya mwiza duhaye wo kuba hano. Ubuhamya bwatanzwe, turabizi ko hari grief nyinshi mu mitima yacu, akababaro kenshi, umubabaro mwinshi uterwa n'akarengane ubwoko bwacu bwagiye bugirirwa mu myaka myinshi. Ariko kandi turizera neza yuko uri Imana itadishikira injustice, kuko uri Imana y'ukuri. Mana, iyi gahunda turagushimira kuri gahunda zose zatambutse, kubayoboye gahunda, kubafasha amagambo, turagushimira Mana. Kandi turagushimira kubwo urubyiruko rwacu kuntu bahagaze, gahunda bafite n'imigambi bafite yo kubasha kugira ngo babashe kwiyubaka, ariko kandi ukomeze no kubomora ibisebe n'ibikomere. Turagushimire Mana kuri healing, kugira ngo babashe guhagarara hano uyu munsi bavuge bakomeye. Turagushimiye ndetse no ku ntambwe babashe kugeraho. Turagushimiye Mana ko bakiriho. turagushimiye ko wazanye ibyiringiro byo kubaho aho bitari biri. Turagushimiye ku migambi myiza ufite ku bwoko bwacu. Turagushimiye kuri buri wese wagira icyo akora muri kano kanya cyangwa muri iki gihe kugira ngo tubashe gusingira ubutabera ndetse no kubaho. Turasengera umunsi w'ejo. Ejo dufite gahunda ndende, hari amagambo menshi azavugwa kandi azakurikiranwa n'abantu benshi. Turasenga kugira ngo gahunda zose zizagende neza. Turasabira umutekano abazatwara amamodoka, abazava mu masiteti atandukanye, byose ukomeze kuyobora kandi no kubibamo. Cyubahiro ni icyawe, tugiye kuruhuka. Turasaba kugira ngo turuhukane nawe. Byose tubisenze mu izina rya Kristo, umwami n'umukiza wacu. Amen.